All right, boys. All-Star break is officially done and gone, which means we're on a straight beeline to the playoffs on our 1-year anniversary.
Yeah. 1-year anniversary of Gio's socks still having holes in them.
Okay. What are we doing here?
I guess some things just never change.
Yeah.
You know what? You guys
Yeah.
should see my cousin. He literally has
Oh, yeah.
all 5 toes hanging out of his sock.
Wow.
It's like those gloves that don't like cover your fingers.
Yeah,
No,
It's like-
literally. That's what he wears.
That's good, though. You know why? Because he'd be like Spider-Man and just start crawling up shit. If
Yo,
he-
this
Yeah,
is
that's
insane.
wild.
Superpowers.
This is insane.
That is wild as hell.
Yo, shout out to Jared, man. I got to show him this.
Shout out Jared.
Tell him to bring his socks.
Yo, I will.
I remember there was one episode, Gio, where like the whole bottom of your sock was just
Nah,
like
I saw
gone.
his whole foot.
You didn't see nothing.
I saw
was
your
bad.
whole foot.
No, it was just a regular sock like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
I really feel bad for y'all that just had to see
You
that.
got a
They're all
free-
gonna
It's
click
just a
off.
sock.
you got
bro.
a free. You got a free foot preview.
It's a black
That's wild.
sock.
But
When you-
enough of the sock. Enough of the sock
Yeah.
talk. We're back. It's episode 45 of the Floor Spacer podcast. Tyler, Anthony, Gio back in the stew earlier today because it is President's Day, so everyone's off work. So lads, how we feeling today on this fine Monday?
We're doing good. There's sunlight coming in, which is
Yeah,
not normal.
Feels good. Usually we have our lights a lot higher, but because we have a
do.
lot of natural in the area, we're good. We're chilling.
Yeah, I'm blending in with the couch right now. You can't see me.
A little bit. It's a little. This color's a little darker.
Is it?
Yeah,
it is.
your sweatshirt's more of a green.
It's like
Yes.
a different, yeah, it's more
Green
greenish.
hue.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we have an action-packed episode for y'all today. As you could tell by the title and thumbnail, we're going to be ranking all 30 NBA teams from worst to best. It's kind of like power rankings, just based on now that the rosters are fully finalized and with the playoffs right around the corner, who's got the best shot to win a championship. So we'll be doing that. We'll be covering, obviously, the entirety of All-Star Weekend and then getting into the controversies and our thoughts and everything like that because there was a lot of it prevalent throughout the weekend. And then my team spotlight returns with the increasing struggles of the Orlando Magic since everyone's come back from injury. So that's kind of that. And, I mean, I'm just excited for not only today's episode, but for the playoffs, because obviously it's not uncharted territory for us considering we did this last year. It's kind of where we started our show, started our journey. So definitely interesting vibes, no?
Definitely.
Yeah. We know exactly what goes into it. I think this year's gonna be more fun though.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's
I
what I
think
feel.
we're not as like discombobulated of just starting everything.
Exactly.
You guys now have a full season sample size of us and our views and our opinions and what we think of teams. So we're not just kind of jumping into this cold turkey. So we'll know what not to do and what to do. And I'm just really excited to just watch some playoff basketball. And, you know, we're going to start live streaming at some point soon. Maybe that could involve some watch alongs for some playoff games
Fire.
or
Yeah.
anything of that
Set
nature.
that up.
So,
Anthony. Yo, Anthony.
You gotta come here.
Set
we have
that
the
up.
PC.
yeah, we got to be here.
Okay, fine.
We gotta sit behind both monitors, and then just have the camera pan to all
Unless we
three
have
of
like
us.
something set up on the side or anything
That would
like
be
that.
dope.
Yeah, but if we just pull it up on the PC, I
We
feel we're
could,
gonna
yeah.
do
Because
it.
for those that don't know, these guys sit like directly across from me.
Yeah.
So we really
We'd
can't
have
look
to
in one
We'd have
direction.
the 3-chair right behind the desk.
Yeah.
Put
Have
the
we-
camera back a little more.
Have we ever done a behind the scenes? Can we actually do that one time?
Maybe we
Just
can.
to show
That
them
could, that
what's
could be like
going on
that
in
could be
the
like a
studio?
social media type
Yeah.
of thing.
I mean,
yeah.
y'all see it on Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah.
We post a picture of the
You
new
wanna see
episode.
the
So
picture, yeah.
you guys kind of get a gist of everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously we're here. We're excited. We're ready for some more NBA basketball. Now that football's done, we're getting into the nitty gritty of the season. So that's anything else to kind of say before we dive right into the first segment?
Let's dive.
Let's do it. So if you guys are on YouTube and you do enjoy today's video, be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel if we're new around here. Trying to get to 5K subs as soon as possible. Hit the bell, that way you're notified every single time we upload, which is every day. If you're on Spotify audio platforms, give us 5 stars, leave a review, answer the polls, all that good stuff. Follow us on our socials, link down in the description below. Get Gio to 1 million Instagram followers. And guys, you ready to get into the first segment?
Let's go.
All right, let's just talk about All-Star Weekend. We'll get into our thoughts and all the negatives of it afterwards because I kind of want to segment these out so we can have some uploadable stuff. So we'll kind of just go a general recap of everything. So on Friday, we saw the celebrity game. We saw the Rising Stars game. Now, we really don't need to talk about the celebrity game because it was kind of brain rot. I don't really think it needs
It's
to be
just-
brought up.
It's just fun.
I didn't see it at all.
We just saw some funny moments from Drewski and Kai
Yeah,
Cenat.
that
Not
was
really
really
much
good.
else to it. Drewski thought he was getting the MVP, but it clearly
Oh, I
wasn't.
saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rome Flynn got it.
So
Saw
he's just, I love how Drewski's just become the main meme
He's
of
such a meme.
NBA Twitter.
Such a-
Yes.
So
They should have had speed in there.
I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if
That's
they. I don't know.
actually
If,
shocking.
I don't know if he wanted to do it. Not sure.
Why?
I don't know.
You don't know.
He's more of a soccer guy, no?
Yeah, but like, come on, get him in that
That's
basketball.
true.
That's
thing.
true.
He would have been in it.
That would have been
Yeah.
funny,
Imagine
That would've been fun.
Imagine Speed interviewing players.
bro.
Yeah.
Imagine,
That's-
imagine,
that's-
imagine us in there in a few years.
Oh yeah, I
Can you
know.
imagine? That would be
Celebrity.
sick.
You have people
So-
that act normal around people instead of craziness.
Maybe
guy.
when I get 1 million
Instagram followers, and
Yeah.
you'll be there.
Yeah,
Oh,
You
yeah.
could deal with
We'll
Adam
see.
Silver, your guy, bro.
We'll see.
Yeah.
But let's get into the Rising Stars game. So this was obviously, this has been the format now for a few years where it's the best players that in their first year, the rookies, sophomores, and G League players. So there was the G League had their own team, and it comprised of guys like Mac McClung, Reed Shepard, Leonard Miller, and then the other three teams were just drafted between three different teams. It was Team C, Team G, and Team T. Now, if I remember correctly, I think they were coached by Chris Mullen, Mitch Richmond, and Tim Hardaway Sr., I want to say.
yes.
And, you know, it was interesting games. You had some teams that had the Thompson twins. You had one team that had, obviously, all the G League players, like I mentioned previously. You had a team of, you know, Stephon Castle, Zach Edey, Jalen Wells. So it was quite an interesting day. And Team C wound up winning their first game against Team T. And then the G League actually beat Team M. And then Team C took home the title in the final game, which locked them a spot in Sunday's All-Star game against Shaq's OGs, which we'll get into in a few minutes. But we saw really good games just across the board from Team C. Like Stephon Castle specifically was phenomenal. He won MVP of the Rising Stars game. Zach Edey was just a big dog down low. You saw good games just across the board. Did you guys see any of the highlights or any of the games? Just what are your general thoughts from that day?
I did. I had it on. I found it just pretty funny that the G League team won because Reed Shepard shouldn't even be on the G League team to begin with.
I mean,
What was he? The
he barely
third
played.
pick?
He barely played.
Third
He's a third
pick,
pick,
yeah.
but he's in the G League right now. But like, he shouldn't even be there. You know, Team M had both Thompson twins, Bub Carrington, Ball Coulibaly, and Tamani Kamara, who were all really decent guys. And they lost by one. It was 40-39.
It's a good game.
Yeah.
But G League didn't really back down at all.
No, they had some guys playing hard. I mean, Bryce McGowan was on a heater that
Yes.
entire game. It was
Yeah.
insane. And
Who's the guy that hit the game winner?
Bryce McGowan's.
First
Bryce McGowan.
And then Stephon Castle hit the game winner in the first game.
Okay.
So
Yeah. No.
Well,
it's
no,
not-
the first game wasn't close. It was 40-34. Oh, to seal the game, though.
to seal the game,
Yeah, because of up by
target
40.
score, yeah.
Yeah. No, listen. I think I like the way they do it. It's really it's really cool.
the way they do what?
Just like the
Format?
Rising Stars. Yeah, I feel like that's pretty cool. And like, I think they actually try. Not like we'll get into the non-triers. But the G Leaguers, I think the G Leaguers don't get nobody watches G League games. This is the only time they probably got a chance to showcase like who Bryce McGowan's, Leonard Miller, Mac.
Yeah.
To showcase who they are, and the top reporters see them. You know, they get good press. Because then when they go back to the regular season, no one's really paying attention to G League unless you're an NBA team trying to bring in players to your roster.
Well, the only G League players that are notable are guys that are on two-way contracts because they come in and out, or if you're Bronny James. Like I think if you ask anyone to name one G League player, Bronny James is the one that is it. Obviously, he didn't get into the Rising Stars one because he only had a couple good games and he spent I think like a month injured. So I don't think he had enough sample size to play.
Would have been awesome though.
It would have been
Was
funny,
there?
but
Yeah.
I
But-
didn't really expect him to be in that game. And then they replaced Wemby because he was supposed to be there, but obviously then became an all-star.
Yeah.
So they found the replacement for that.
Listen, I love watching our Rising Stars in the game, like this whole thing. I think it's really cool because it shows the new era of basketball.
Yeah.
So I'm all for it. I never have anything bad to say about the Rising Stars game.
It's always been good
Ever.
because these are guys that are not widely known outside of the top like 10 picks. So, these guys are trying to make a statement. They're taking advantage of the TV spotlight and the opportunity because you might never get that again. Because a lot of these guys are never going to be all-stars. So this is your 1 to 2 year chance to kind of, make a name for yourself in some way, shape, or form. So
It's a lot more competitive.
exactly.
Yeah, we'll get
Guys are really playing.
So-
We'll get into that later.
We'll get into
We'll
that.
get into that
We'll
later.
get into that later.
So let's get into the next day. This is All-Star Saturday night. Probably the best day always out of the three. This is where the skills competition happens. This is where the three-point competition happens and the dunk contest, which has definitely regressed over time. But let's start with the skills challenge. So We'll put all the teams on the screen right now. So we had Team Cavs, which was Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley. We had Team Rooks, which was Zachary Reese-Haché and Alex Sarr, who were the top 2 picks in this year's draft. Team Spurs, Chris Paul and Victor Wembanyama. We'll talk about them in a few minutes. And then Team Warriors, Draymond Green and Moses Moody, obviously being the host city, everything like that. There was a really funny moment during Draymond's run where the ball rack just completely fell on him.
Yes.
And his run got completely screwed up. He felt really bad for Moses Moody because he kind of ruined his chance. But let's talk about the Spurs for a second. Victor Wembanyama had a very genius idea to find a loophole in the system where they were not going to shoot any of the shots.
Yep.
Just grab Chuck, and then they were just going to run. Because I think with the time like increase or anything like that, they were still going to win. Now, they had the fastest time, I think, in total, but they got disqualified.
Yep.
For essentially trying too hard, trying
Cheater.
to cheat. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just not right.
It's the French way. No, I'm playing.
No.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was funny. I mean, I agree with it. Wemby almost made one of the shots though, and he wasn't looking.
He hit the back of the rim on one.
And he wasn't looking. So I think it's probably because he's so tall. It's easy for him to just chuck up shots, and it's like almost like at his level.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It was
Little
funny. Of course, Team Cavs won. They were the fastest.
I mean, Mitchell and Mobley was like the perfect combo for that.
Yeah.
So you knew they were going to win.
Yeah.
Cavs were on a heater all year.
Sarr and Reese-Haché, I think they were a little soft. They went really slow.
Yeah.
Watching the replay. And then Draymond and Moses Moody were really good, but Draymond missed the chest pass twice.
Draymond's trash.
Was one of the chest pass that missed, that knocked over the ball rack, right?
Yes.
Okay, I was,
Yes.
because I couldn't tell at first when I was
He
watching
missed
it back.
the third one. So he missed the first two. The third one went bounce off the rack, and then all the balls fell over.
Oh, God, that's just
Yeah.
embarrassing.
Yeah.
So, but obviously, congratulations to Team Cavs. I mean, I think I don't know if Evan Mobley's won one before, but I know he's competed in a few of them now.
Yeah, I don't know.
But definitely the skills challenges, it really depends, to be honest, on how fun they are. I think it depends on the players that are playing.
Absolutely.
Like the year Tatum won, that was probably the most fun skills challenge we had. When I think,
yeah, I don't like the teams anymore. What happened to just doing the single-handed, like, knockout?
I think they're trying to get more of a team aspect involved.
Yeah,
You're
that's
competing
what
for
I
the guy next to you rather than just yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Because
that helps.
remember, Anthony Edwards last year was shooting left-handed.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of a buzzkill, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah, and then what happened to the Shooting Stars? Remember there used to be 4 events? It was Shooting Stars was
I don't even
first.
remember that.
Shooting Stars was a team of 3 from each city.
Like
it
Hot
was
Shot?
it was 1 rookie, 1 legend, 1 WNBA player from that team.
Oh, I do remember
And they
that.
and they had to end it with a half-court shot.
Yeah, I remember that.
What year was this?
This was a few years
It was
ago.
everywhere. It was every
wow.
year. They got rid of it.
I remember that now.
They had to end it with a half-court shot, and like
Yeah.
they would just chuck
I
a
think-
half-court shot.
I think because it's too similar to the skills challenge. I don't really think I think it's repetitive, a little redundant.
I think it was they had to make a layup,
no, they had
elbow, free throw, 3-pointer, half-court.
yeah, the 3-pointer I think was from the corner.
Yeah,
So plus a lot of them missed half court shots, so it took too long.
it did.
So,
Yeah.
but it is what it is. I mean, I thought it was a cool event. I would love to see Hot Shot kind of involved into this, where you're shooting from different zones. Because when I was in high school, for our little basketball league, we used to have that at like our all-star game. So, or middle school actually. In
Yeah.
high school, we didn't do it.
Okay.
But
I like that.
But yeah, that was a lot of fun. We'll talk more about that later on, though. Let's get into the second event. This was the 3-point contest, my favorite event of all time, because obviously, being small when I played basketball, I wasn't as tall as I am now, so I was just kind of in the corner, just shooting threes. I always look forward to this event. And I'm going to just go out and say this was probably the worst 3-point contest we've ever had in NBA history. I mean, Cam Johnson, I am so disappointed in you, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he dropped 14 points in the first round. It's tied for the worst performance ever in NBA history, tied with New York Knicks Julius Randle back in whatever year he did it.
Wow.
Why was he even in that?
He's a 3-point shooter.
Yeah, he
No,
is.
he's not.
He is.
Yeah, he is.
Julius Randle.
No, I thought you were talking about Cam Johnson.
No, I'm talking about Julius Randle.
Julius
Don't
can
ask
shoot
me
outside
why
of
he
it.
was in there.
No, he's not a 3-point shooter. He shouldn't even
No.
been there.
But we'll put the names on the screen of this year's 3-point contest
Yeah.
participants. You have Jalen Brunson, Cade Cunningham, Darius Garland, Tyler Hero, Buddy Hield, Cam Johnson, Damian Lillard, and Norman Powell.
Wow.
So as far as I know, I believe Darius Garland, Tyler Hero, and Buddy Hield made the final.
Yes.
And Tyler Hero came out victorious with his run.
Yeah.
So Buddy
expected
Hield
that.
missed his third to last shot on the Moneyball rack. He needed all 5 to win. So
He missed. Yes, I think he missed the third or fourth one.
it was the third one.
Was the third one?
Yeah. He almost wanted to stop shooting because it wasn't worth it, but he just chucked the other 2 up.
Yeah, that made it fun. But,
But a lot of guys were just bricked fest the entirety of the contest.
really bad.
Yeah.
Nobody made a complete rack.
Yeah.
Everybody missed that Starry shot. Starry was the sponsor.
The 2 deep ones on
Two
the corner.
deep corner
right?
ones.
Yeah.
I think Cam made no.
No,
Somebody
he did
made
not.
one. Tyler Hero made one. Someone else made another one.
Yeah.
But no, it was.
It was pitiful.
Jalen was bad. I don't know why. Maybe they don't really like the pressure because
Yep.
it's a planned 3-point thing. It's not like in a game like
Like you're not in
Fast.
a rhythm. Not in
Exactly.
a rhythm.
Yeah.
You have to find your rhythm.
yeah.
Brunson can't foul bait on 3-point contests.
No.
So
Yeah.
No one's
nothing he can do about it.
Exactly.
Where would you put your Moneyball rack?
The corner.
Which one though? The first or the last?
The last.
Yeah, I agree.
So if we're going from this way or this way?
Whatever's you could pick whatever side you want to start on. So do you want to finish on your Moneyball
Well,
rack? Or do
okay.
you wanna start?
If I'm starting from the left side,
Yeah.
my last.
Okay, yeah, because I don't want to start off with the Moneyball rack if I'm rusty.
Yeah.
Like you want to finish off on that if you're feeling it.
Yeah.
Because the wing makes no sense. You could do the top of the key, but
Yeah,
then
that's-
you're kind of screwed.
I like shooting from the wing though.
It's good, yeah.
No, yeah,
It's
it-
just it's mathematically the toughest spot on the court to make a 3-pointer.
Is
from.
it actually?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Unless you bank everything in.
it's harder to
wing?
bank from the wing because you're on an angle.
No, but you have a trajectory to the top right side.
No,
of the
but
left
like,
side of the
but like if
backboard.
you're shooting straight on from the top of the key, you just have to aim for
no,
the center.
Yeah, that's true.
So
But I think it's still pretty easy from the wing.
To
I
bank
get
it in.
If we were to
No.
go outside right now, I'd do it.
it's just home court advantage. It's not
Yeah,
fair.
right. He has
So,
that
Or somewhere else.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see.
Dead
Okay,
backboard.
yeah.
No, maybe I'm okay. We'll go to an actual gym and we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll test it out.
Yeah, it's harder because you gotta hit it on like the corner of the square.
Yeah.
So it's not as guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think the NBA needs to start putting like actual like the best. You know how the home run derby they do the top 8 home run hitters, like do the top 8 3-point shooters. Like Sabonis and Jokic should have been in there. I don't care if they're centers. Like
Oh, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
And it really just kind of put to shame a lot of it was very shameful from this group compared to like the previous
Oh,
winners, like
I agree.
like Steph in 2021, Buddy Hield in 2020, Joe Harris in 2019.
Yeah.
Those 3 in a row, and then obviously when Dame repeated,
Yeah.
like those were some of the best 3-point performances we've ever seen.
Yeah.
So definitely very interesting.
Didn't
definitely very
Steph go up
strange.
against Sabrina
He did last
Yeah.
year, yeah.
last year?
They got
Even
rid of
that was good.
They were gonna do it again this year, but they decided not to do it. Caitlin
Yeah.
Clark did not want to be involved.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They want their own thing.
Yeah.
So
So-
NBA wants their own thing.
You also got to think too. They're not. In
But could you imagine if Caitlin Clark beat Steph Curry or something?
Could you
Like that
imagine?
would be insane.
It
Well,
would.
yeah, it's cool.
It would. But
Okay.
you also got to think too. They're not in season right now, so they're not in form to really
Oh,
shoot.
I know she's
tip-top
shooting.
shoot.
Caitlin
She's-
Clark is-
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like Steph's got 40 plus games in him right now.
I
Yeah.
guess.
So
Yeah.
it just kind of is what it is. But yeah, the 3-point contest needs some tweaking as far as like who they select. Like, I'm sorry, Jalen Brunson did not deserve to be there. Cade Cunningham did not really deserve to be there. Dame was just there because he won the past 2.
Yeah.
He said he's retiring from 3-point contest now.
Oh wow.
So no more. He's
You have
finished.
to retire.
He's old, bro.
Yeah,
How old
bro.
is Dame? Like
36, I think.
35.
36,
Yeah, he's
wow.
old.
Yeah, these guys these guys are not making it past the decade in the NBA.
Yeah.
They're done before 2030.
That's
It's really
true.
sad to kind of acknowledge that,
Yeah.
considering we grew up with these guys just kind of starting out.
Yeah.
So
I know.
it's definitely really weird.
Yeah.
But any final thoughts on the 3-point contest?
Nah.
All right, let's get in to the most controversial event in NBA history, the Slam Dunk Contest, an event that used to be highly coveted, very prestigious, and now it's kind of turned into like a joke per se. It's just really mid. So this year, we'll put the contestants on the screen. We have Matas Buzelis, rookie from the Chicago Bulls, Stephon Castle, rookie from the San Antonio Spurs, Andre Jackson Jr., I think he's been with the Bucks for a few years now. And then obviously 2-time Slam Dunk Contest champion Mac McClung from the Osceola Magic. And obviously Gio holding up the number 3, which means Mac McClung is your winner. won again for the third straight year. Mahomes could never. The Warriors could never. So, yeah, 3 times in a row for Mac McClung. Dame could never with the three-point contest. So, yeah, I mean, obviously, we've seen in the past few years a lot of guys don't want to do the slam dunk contest anymore. So we're just resorting to rookies. We're resorting to a G League player to try and save the damn event. And, I mean, look, Andre Jackson, Matas Buzelis, very underwhelming in my opinion.
Really bad.
We saw Matas Buzelis in a G League night game last year do an alley-oop windmill dunk. And, like, where was any of that this year? It was just really bad. Stephon Castle did great.
Yeah, he was good.
Just a lot of the dunks were semi-basic, where Mac McClung used a lot of props. He jumped over a car.
And people.
Yeah, he jumped over people. He jumped over Evan Mobley, touched the rim, and then dunked it. So there was a lot of controversy surrounding saying, like, oh, Castle should have won because he didn't need props and everything like that. I want to know y'all's thoughts. Who did you think deserved to win?
I think so. Castle's last dunk behind the back where the
That
ball
was insane.
came up and perfectly. That was the best one I think he had all night. But
Yeah, it was good.
Mac got some really intense height when he jumped
he
over the person and then turned around and
Yeah.
flushed it in. That was really intense height. And then the car, I think, was pretty good. Blake did it, but Blake didn't.
Blake
I
jumped
think-
over the front, and
yeah,
he
it was-
just caught an alley-oop and dunked
Yeah.
it, where I'll kind of explain Mac's dunk. So his first one over the car, his friend was standing up in the driver's seat holding the ball over his head. He grabbed it and then did a reverse dunk.
Yeah.
The second one he did, his friend was standing on the side. He went to do the same dunk he did last year, but instead of just doing a typical reverse, he did a little twist and 360'd it in. And then he did the one where he had a ball holding up on the rim. He grabbed it from his friend spinning on a hoverboard and then dunked both of them. And then obviously the last dunk over Evan Mobley where he touched the front of the rim and then dunked it. It was
Listen,
insane.
I think, though, that's the best one. If Castle had some props, maybe, but the best dunk he had was the one behind his back all the way up to
Castle's
his
right.
palm
Yeah.
and to the hoop.
Yeah, no, that Castle dunk was crazy.
I like
but,
the one where the guy made the layup and then he grabbed it East Bay. That was another good one. It took him a few tries though.
Okay.
But I love how like we saw the duality of Spurs fans over that because they were complaining that, you know, for Wemby and CP3 getting disqualified, and then they said Mac McClung was trying too hard. So it's funny.
listen.
I had a thought because I was like, the Spurs have been asked for so long now. I forgot how sensitive their fan base is.
Yeah.
It's like actually crazy.
Yeah.
Like this dude was like one of the big Spurs pages was just so in his feels that night. It was nasty.
Listen, they'll be fine.
Look, the day that Steven Castle or Stephon
Stephon.
Castle jumps over Wemby, that'll be the day that he'll win the dunk contest.
Absolutely.
100%.
All right, so you got to put Wemby in here. And that's your teammate. You know, put him in
Exactly.
there.
Yeah.
Like, how do you not do that?
Yeah.
They were asking Mac, but they were like, why not Wemby? Why Evan Mobley?
Well,
And I was like, that's kind of reaching it for Mac.
well, not even reaching it. Wemby was every time Mac McClung made a dunk, Wemby was like, he didn't want to. He wants Stephon Castle to win.
Yeah, of course.
So he was gonna make sure.
Yeah.
So and plus Evan Mobley's no slouch. He's like 7 foot.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
Still
Yeah, but-
impressive for a guy that's how tall is Mac McClung? Like 6 foot, 5'11"? Not even
He's 6'2",
6'2".
I think.
something like that.
Yeah. Listen, he's a good player. He can
No,
clearly
bro.
dunk.
Mac McClung's vertical, oh my goodness.
Insane.
He was a
He
really
must
good.
have like a 50-inch vertical.
He was a really good college player. If you remember back in the day, he played for Texas Tech.
He was good in college. He's not
decent in
he's
college.
not great in the NBA
No.
now,
He was-
obviously, because he can't even make a roster.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we do have some other news surrounding the dunk contest, and this made headlines. So after Mac McClung jumped over a car, we saw a tweet that we're going to put on the screen right now from a wild Ja Morant
Oh yes.
saying, Mac's going to make me dunk again.
Who?
Or, Ja Morant said, Mac might make me dunk again. And then he commented on his own tweet saying, Zach and AG, where you at? And we saw then a quote tweet from Giannis saying, if you do it, I'll do it too. But during his media day interview, he played it off by saying his kids tweeted that, which I don't necessarily believe.
I don't believe it.
And then Zach LaVine said, I might have to come out of retirement and do this
Yo.
dunk contest.
I listen.
So-
This happens every year, where when someone goes off, they tweet about it, and then next year when they want to select those guys, they go completely silent.
Yeah, that's true.
And they say, no, my hammy, I can't do it. My head hurts. Like LeBron.
My head hurts.
30 minutes before the game. We'll
My
get into
toenail
that.
hurts.
Then there's John. No, there's no way. They
I think
say
John
it
might
now.
do it. I think John might do it.
I think he
That's
will. I
fine.
think Levine might do it. Christian Brown wanted to do it, and the NBA would
Brown?
not let him.
Why?
Because he's white.
Well, no, literally Mac McClung's white.
Hello.
Because Christian
wild.
Brown's white? Is that
I
what?
He's
don't,
white.
I don't know
White
why they
man
wouldn't let him
can
do it.
jump.
Oh yeah, Mac McClung won the last 3 dunk contests.
Last
like,
3 dunk
clearly.
contests. Yeah, white as a ghost.
White man
But
can jump.
why don't they let him though?
I don't know. They didn't really give a reason, but he wanted to do it, and I think he should do it next year.
Maybe he's just not cool enough.
Maybe, yeah, because he's not a household name yet.
Probably,
Even
yeah.
though Bro single-handedly won Denver a finals game 2 years ago. So, like...
Neither is Andre Jackson is not how. He just literally dunked and left.
Exactly.
He didn't do much, Andre Jackson. That's the same thing. Matt Buzelis tried, and then Castle McClung were in their own conversation.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't necessarily know why.
Interesting.
But next year, I expect the NBA to give us a good dunk contest.
I do.
Give us Zach LaVine. Give us Ja Morant. Give us Shaden Sharp. Please give us Shaden Sharp. I want to see this guy win a dunk contest in the worst way.
I have high hopes for next year because it's in the Intuit Dome.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Steve Ballmer wants a show.
Maybe
that's-
get a Clipper in there. I
that's
don't really
what-
know what Clipper's going to do it.
Well, we'll see in the
Derek Jones. Where's
offseason.
Derek? Yeah, no.
He's not there anymore.
Maybe.
Oh, no, he is. Wait, yeah.
Is he over there?
Who?
He is. Derek Jones.
Derek
Jr.
Jones.
Okay. Get him in there.
You could do.
I would love to
I don't
see.
know
I would
who
love to
else.
see Gordon and Levine go
Nah,
back. at it again.
Gordon lost some bounce. I can tell.
Well, yeah, he's got calf problems right now.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I would say
Definitely get Zach LaVine in there.
get Zach LaVine in there.
Get Christian
Ja
Brown in there.
Get Brown in there.
Yeah, get them all
Shaden Sharp,
in
I'm
there.
fine with.
Get
Ja,
Shaden
I'm
Sharp.
fine with. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, get all those guys in
Look,
there.
we still got some guys that are athletes. They just don't compete
You
in
know,
dunk
you
contests.
know who I want in a dunk contest? LeBron.
He won't. LeBron ruined the dunk contest.
You know
Yeah.
he said. Do you know he said he regrets not doing it?
Who, LeBron?
Yeah.
Yeah.
LeBron should have been in every dunk contest in his career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He should have done it every year of his career.
He should have.
He would have won at least one or
He
two.
would have won a bunch.
No, he would have won a lot. A lot.
Yeah.
You know who we need to see in the dunk contest if he's healthy? Zion.
Oh, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Of
Bro.
course.
That's what I'm saying. Get
But-
Zion,
but-
get Ja,
but
get those
if-
guys in there.
But if he does jumps over a person and he fails and lands, his fucking feet are broken.
Okay, yeah.
That's it.
We're back
We're
to
gonna see
Zion
him. We're gonna see him
for whatever
shitting
reason.
his pants from the Chick-fil-A before the game.
What? Yeah, okay. We're just
This
gonna
man,
rapidly
Anthony,
move on.
just loves to roast Zion's eating, bro.
But so yeah, how would you rate out of 10 the skills challenge, the 3-point contest, and the dunk contest before we get into the All-Star game?
I'll give them all a 6.
Yeah. I think that's about right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll probably go 5.
Okay.
Yeah, all around.
Yeah, I was just mildly ass. Had some good, had a lot of bad.
Yeah, the moments I think would made it better.
Yeah. So let's get into the final day, Sunday, All-Star Sunday. So for those that don't know, the format had changed. So instead of East versus West or a draft or anything like that, it was 3 teams drafted by the 3 former players of inside the NBA, Kenny and Chuck. And the 4th team was the winner of the Rising Stars game. So it was Shaq's OGs comprised of, the old legends. Kenny's team was all the young stars plus Jalen Brunson. And then Chuck's team was all the international guys
Yeah.
plus Trey Young.
The scriptedness Tyler had was right. Like, they had these team names ready to go.
Exactly.
They were just waiting for it to happen.
Yeah.
Because no offense to Jalen Brunson, there's no way with the second pick that Kenny was taking
Well,
him over
Kenny
or
Smith
Giannis.
apparently wanted all his players under 25. Yet Jalen Brunson is 28 years old,
Yeah.
so he didn't know how old he was.
He was the only one left. So
Yeah.
there was really nothing. He had to take someone, but
Yeah,
yeah.
that draft was scripted. Now I can confirm.
The 2 controversies we saw in this game is that LeBron James did not play, and neither did Anthony Edwards. So we'll talk more about that later on because I want to have a whole section of us kind of bashing this weekend because that's pretty much what we're going towards. So in the first game, obviously, between Kenny's young stars and Shaq's and Chuck's international stars, wasn't really close, to be honest. We just saw, because, Kenny's team had no size, and we just saw, Wemby take over when he came in. Jokic and SGA had a cool little 2-man game. We saw a Joker to Wemby alley-oop. It was really cool. But in the end, Chuck's Global Stars won 41-32. Then we saw the second game, Shaq's OGs versus the Rising Stars. The Rising Stars actually added Amen Thompson to their team to try and make this closer.
More even, yeah.
And, I got to give the Rising Stars credit because they came out, they played.
They played
And
well.
They played
Yeah.
really well. But at the end of the day, the OGs were always going to win. I
Oh,
didn't
of
really
course.
expect them not to.
Yeah.
So they won 42-35. And then we saw the competition final between Chuck and Shaq. And because, Chuck's team was sitting around so long, they got rusty, they got stiff, they missed. They started out 0 for 10 from the field. And Shaq's OGs won the All-Star game. Steph Curry, your All-Star game MVP. Just your thoughts on the game, just the basketball part of the game first. Forget about the other stuff later.
I mean, it wasn't good basketball.
Yeah, it was
That's what I'll tell you. That everyone missed a lot of shots. But again, there's no competitiveness with it. I didn't bother watch a lot of it yesterday. I just saw the highlights because I was like, this is not going to be fun.
I mean, to be fair, it was better than last year, the game-wise, like the actual basketball. I thought it was more competitive than last year and the previous year because we saw last year, I mean, it was 200 points were scored. Like, there was no defense.
Yeah.
And the year before that, we saw Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown do a glorified 1v1 for the entire second half. So this was better, but it needs to be tweaked a lot more.
what needs to be tweaked.
Just, the whole format and everything like that. Yeah. What did you think, Gio?
Yeah, I mean, I'll just echo what Anthony said. It was lack of competitiveness. I'm used to seeing, Kobe in these All-Star games. When he was in these All-Star games, that's when it was like, let's go at each other and let's see who's the better player.
Right.
That's when it was like, we are all the best players in the NBA. Now let's see who's the alpha of the alphas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what the All-Star game used to be. It's not that ever since Kobe left, unfortunately. We'll see. I mean, I think the OGs got to go. I'm tired of the OGs because the OGs of today's game are the ones that introduced this lackluster All-Star game. I think maybe once they leave, maybe we'll see a different dynamic.
Yeah, because we saw like Wemby. Wemby, I think, played hard every single second he was out on the floor.
He did.
And he was playing defense.
I respect Wemby a little bit more for that reason.
Exactly.
I do.
Plus, he had to make himself up from the skills challenge nonsense.
Yeah, I mean, we missed without Anthony Edwards. That he puts out effort in All-Star game.
I don't know.
Does he? He was shooting left-handed last year.
Yeah, I don't know about
He doesn't
Anthony
really
Edwards,
try.
man.
I don't
know
know
about him. I think Anthony Edwards, he could potentially do that, but he needs someone to talk trash to him, and then that'll get him going.
Exactly.
That's true.
Otherwise, he's just playing around, laughing, having fun.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But we want to see some competition.
We want to see competition.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the main gist of All-Star Weekend.
Yeah.
Do we have any sort of final thoughts before we get into the next segment bashing this whole thing? All right, let's do it. All right, now that we got the All-Star stuff out of the way, we've got all the nice positive floor spacer stuff, done and over with. Let's be real, because this whole weekend was a total mess. I think we could all agree on that, right? And we're going to kind of get into just the nitty-gritty of it all. We'll kind of have our criticisms and our critique and really kind of give our general unadulterated thoughts on just this weekend. And I think we're going to start this off with a graphic that we're going to put on the screen right now. This was from a Reddit thread, r/NBA. Someone broke down the entirety of last night's broadcast into everything. And listen to this. So 42 minutes of actual basketball was played in the 3-hour All-Star game. Here's the minutes breakdown. So the intro with ads took 30 minutes. The pregame talk took 10 minutes. So game 1, Kenny versus Chuck, was 12 minutes long. So 1 NBA quarter. Then the Mr. Beast Challenge took 5 minutes. Then game 2, Shaq versus the Rising Stars, took 16 minutes. Then there was a 6-minute music performance. Then there was a 9-minute inside the NBA tribute. Then game 3 was Chuck versus Shaq, which took 14 minutes. Post game took 6 minutes, and then they did more analysts from the desks and stuff like that, and that took 22 minutes. And there were 80 minutes total in commercial breaks.
That's almost an hour and 20
They're
minutes.
banking in right now.
You're telling me the commercials were double the time of the actual game?
That's insane.
That's wild.
That's really bad.
So I'll let whoever wants to have the floor take it and don't hold anything back.
I didn't watch the All-Star game that much, so I don't know about the commercial breaks, but I was reading on Twitter saying people were saying another commercial. That's insane. I don't know why we need a 20-minute post game for the All-Star game. Draymond was just literally bashing the All-Star game the whole time.
Draymond?
Yeah, he was on the panel.
What was he saying?
He was just bashing it.
He was
bashing it?
He said they asked him on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel about the format?
0.
He said 0. He was bashing the Rising Stars acting like they don't belong.
Yes.
When in reality, you can make the argument they don't, but don't go at it from that kind of angle. That's just rude.
He won't be back on a panel next year. That's what we conclude from that.
Well, they're not.
Maybe he
there's
will.
no more games on TNT after this season, so it really won't matter.
Oh, well. Oh, yeah. Maybe the new format.
That's one thing I like about Draymond, man. He doesn't hold back.
No, he doesn't.
He
He
does.
doesn't hold back, and it doesn't matter who's there. Like he's not gonna censor himself for anyone,
Right.
and I respect it.
But we will put another. My English is just not Englishing right now. I have been ill this weekend. But we will put another graphic on the screen. This was posted by SportsCenter. Because obviously they asked Draymond his thoughts on today's NBA. This equates to the All-Star game as well. And he said, I think it's very boring. And then a former player, a former legend, the OG Mr. Triple-Double, Oscar Robertson, had some choice words to say to Draymond Green. He said it might be boring to him because if he's not passing the ball to Curry, what is he doing? Not to single that out because I think he knows how to play basketball, but he's passed the ball to Curry more than anyone.
Well,
That's wild.
I give Oscar that.
Oscar on smoke, bro.
Oscar,
Love that shit.
That's what this game is missing. That we need more of that.
Also, I forgot who. Somebody said that on the panel, unless I was watching a TikTok. But, I think it was Perk. I think it was from like two weeks ago. He was saying that all the players, the young players coming up now in our basketball society and generation are all soft and spoiled. That's why they're not trying in the game. Like the money is handed to them after their rookie extension.
Right.
They don't have to work for it. Their top pick, even though like a whole other, like the whole just type of thing. Like the rookie extension's always there for the top picks. They're always going to get their money.
Right.
Yada yada. I kind of see his point. Yeah, they are spoiled. The players back then didn't get this type of money, like Oscar Robertson, for example. And yeah, I think that point only works for Draymond, because if that was someone else talking about it, he probably wouldn't have said the same thing. Because no one else is passing to Steph but Draymond right now.
Yeah. Wait, so is Oscar saying that Steph ruined the game?
No,
No,
I don't think so.
I mean, Steph did ruin the game in
Whoa.
certain ways.
No, he
Okay.
didn't ruin the game. He changed the
He
game.
changed the game.
I don't think I don't think you can't pinpoint it at like a singular player, although you probably can point the finger at LeBron. I think it's just the generation where, if you're the first overall pick, like Victor Wembanyama is making $12 million a year on his rookie deal. So that's already generational wealth. You could retire tomorrow and you don't have to work another day in your life. So
Yeah.
by the time he gets his rookie extension, what, he's going to sign 5 years for like $250 million at the very least. And then when that contract's up, he's going to be a generational talent. So he's going to make all NBA. So you're going to sign a 5-year. By the time he gets to his supermax, we're going to be in the next decade. The TV rights are going to be even more through the roof. You're looking at Wemby probably signing 5-6 years, probably half a $1 billion contract. That's realistic of what we're looking at.
Yeah.
Insane.
For Wemby's caliber, that's very much out.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that Tatum and Brown are already making north of $300 million.
Yeah, true.
We obviously know what Luka could have gotten. We know exactly what Jokic and Giannis are going to get in a couple of years. It's insane wealth.
Of
So
course.
these guys don't need to go out and play their butts off. These guys don't want to get injured because the All-Star break is so close to the playoffs. So
Yeah, that's the big thing. I mean, we didn't see Giannis this year in All-Star game, did we? No, we did.
No, but here's where I'll give Giannis credit, and this kind of segues into my next issue. Giannis got injured, and they held him. They announced this prior, so a replacement could be named. This is where I want to, have some rare criticism toward LeBron James, because I love LeBron. I think he's the greatest player ever. He's one of my favorite athletes. But what we saw yesterday was as selfish and self-centered and bullshit as can be. The fact that you probably knew for weeks you weren't playing in that game because you've been dealing with that lower leg foot injury for a while now. So you wait until you get there and have your press conference to announce that not only are you not playing in the game, you're not even going to get in uniform for the team picture. Like, that is so selfish and so self-centered and so arrogant.
What makes that selfish?
Because you announced this prior, you can get a replacement in there.
Yeah, if like his point is, he knew this 2 weeks before. He could have announced it 2 days before All-Star break began, the day before, not 30 minutes before the game started.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody else knew but him. And Anthony Edwards was a different story. I think
He had some discomfort when he was warming up.
But I think LeBron was, my foot hurts. I woke up this morning, my foot hurt. I think that's kind of the excuse he was getting at.
Because I'll tell you what Giannis did, right? Giannis was diagnosed with his injury a week and a half ago, and Trae Young was his replacement. What does Giannis do? He still shows up. He's a good sport about everything. He's rooting the guys on from the sideline, and for the team picture, he was in uniform. He did everything he was asked to do.
Yeah.
And this is someone that doesn't even really like Giannis that much.
I think
Giannis is a good guy, man.
With this, also, you got to keep in mind, like, LeBron is the face of the NBA, you would say, of course, with Steph, but people go there to see LeBron because, don't forget, and this brings together a lot of international people to All-Star Weekend. Creators that are across the globe come to this All-Star Weekend because everyone's all under one vicinity.
Yeah.
So LeBron not playing, you have kids that are left disappointed, you have people that are left disappointed a little bit, you know.
I mean, look,
kind of,
think
you
of
know.
it this way. Look at it this way. The man is 40 years old, and people are complaining that he didn't play in an All-Star game. Like, come on.
I don't think it's
He's 40.
I don't think it's necessarily the fact of him not playing. I think the fact that he knew he wasn't playing.
How do you know? You're just putting yourself into his brain.
LeBron's been on the injury report for the past 3 weeks. So, like,
Yeah.
he literally sat out the game against Indiana 2 weeks ago with the same foot injury.
Maybe he didn't want to rule himself out. Maybe he's thinking, I might be healthy by then. I don't want to rule myself out yet. And then he was like,
It's LeBron.
it was a game day decision for him. You never know.
This is the typical LeBron behavior.
I don't know. I feel like Bron always likes to put on a show. When the lights are out, he always puts on a show.
But that's the
I
thing.
agree.
He always likes to make things about himself. Why do you think he didn't?
Exactly.
Why do you think he didn't dress up in uniform for the picture? Because he wanted all the attention to be on him.
Hence the injury. They're talking about him
Exactly.
instead of the game.
Maybe.
And this is where I really feel bad for a guy like Norman Powell. I think
Yeah.
this year was his only shot at being an all-star. And
Yeah.
because of this happening, he's not going to get a chance ever again.
Well, we don't know. Norm could be really good next year and get into it, though.
We'll have to see.
You know?
We'll genuinely have to see because I don't know if he's capable of consistently doing this over every season, especially with the opportunity of Kawhi being out for as long as he was.
I feel like it wouldn't be a legit all-star if Norm got it because LeBron was hurt. It would be there would definitely be an asterisk next to that all-star.
I don't think most people would look at it in that way because he was already a snub to begin with. He should have got in over Jalen Williams. He should have got in over whoever else got in.
You're right.
So,
I will say, I know that they're already, NBA, from today I was reading that they're already discussing next year they want to do a 1v1 tournament at All-Star Weekend. Also,
I love it.
the NBA should also be taking notes of what the NHL is doing right
What are they
now
doing?
for
What are
their
they doing?
All-Star Weekend. So the NHL replaced their All-Star Weekend. It's like NBA, but they're off for 2 weeks now. So they're having a 4 nations face-off.
Okay.
It is the top 4 teams right now in all of global hockey. So Team USA, Team Canada, Team Finland, and Team Sweden are the top 4 teams. So they're showcasing the international talent in the NHL with their respective countries for the Olympics next year in the Winter Olympics because now all NHL players are going to be able to play in the Winter Olympics next year for their home countries and then also for 2030. And
So
apparently
they're like giving a preview of it.
they're giving a preview
Yeah,
of
I like that.
and they're also bringing back the World Cup of Hockey to NHL, which is an in-season tournament with the international teams competing in the NHL.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I know Adam Silver has considered the idea of U.S. versus international, U.S. versus the world for an all-star game because that's the thing. That's the difference between the two cultures right now where you got the Europeans like Giannis, Jokic, all those guys. You have, the guys from Africa like Siakam and the Australians, the Canadians. These guys, are representing their countries and they want to make them proud. So they're playing, they're not playing 100%, but they're playing hard.
Yeah.
And they're actually giving effort where these guys from the U.S., they don't, these guys, let's just call a spade here. These guys played for the best high schools and colleges in the country. They really haven't had to deal with much adversity. They didn't really go to class much. They really don't know about, the lifestyle that these international players have. A lot of them had, rougher upbringings, but once you get to that point of playing for a Kentucky, you're playing for a Duke, you're pampered, you're babied, and you're not really held accountable like that.
Yeah.
So that's where these guys really don't try. They take opportunities for granted like that. So I'm hoping the younger generation changes that.
Yeah.
The thing with the NBA adopting the nations is that you can't have USA playing other teams because USA is going to win everything. It's not like with hockey where all Canada and USA are like the best teams. You'd have to do like he said, USA versus, or do it by continents. USA versus
You say USA versus any other
Europe or Africa, or like you can do it by continents.
If you did US versus the world, like
That too, yeah.
Because that's the thing. Like if Jokic could single-handedly like be a plus 26 with Serbia on the floor against the United States, if you at least give him Giannis, if you give him Wemby, like the world would beat the US. I'm very confident.
Oh, and
of that.
you have the EuroLeague.
SGA.
You have the EuroLeague stars coming to play as well. I think they would sweep the ground with them.
But you wouldn't need them.
You wouldn't even need them. Like you're like I'll put it this way: you're looking at a starting lineup of what? SGA, Luka, SGA, Wemby, Giannis, Jokic.
Yeah.
They would trounce the US. It wouldn't even be close.
Yeah.
And you could throw in like
I mean, you get Siakam coming off the bench.
Siakam.
You guys
Who else you got off the bench?
You got
You could throw
Jamal
in
Murray.
Jamal
you could throw
Murray,
in there.
yeah.
You can throw in Cat.
Yeah.
Dylan Brooks.
Well, Cat.
Well, when Cat was growing up, he represented teams.
But he
in the
wasn't
Dominican
born
Republic.
in DR
Yeah,
though.
DR.
Right, but you could still
You could
he could still declare, like Kyrie's trying to play for Team Australia in the 2020 Olympics.
Is
He's
he?
filling out the paperwork right
Kyrie's crazy.
now. So
Yeah, he's Australian, mate.
yeah, man, he's a natural Australian citizen.
Is he born from?
He's born in Australia.
Okay, well then that's fine.
Yeah.
Exactly. Also, don't forget my guy Cam Thomas. He's coming.
Nah,
He's
bro,
coming.
we not
For
worried
Team
about
Japan?
Cam Thomas,
Japan,
bro.
man.
That's the
Imagine, bro.
only player on with Rui.
We not worried
Really?
about Cam Thomas, bro.
Yeah.
Keep sleeping on my goat, bro.
Listen, we haven't seen him this year. Is he? Where is he?
He's hurt.
I know, but where is he?
Why is he mocking someone that's injured? Yeah,
You got
that's
to get
crazy.
canceled, bro.
Crazy word.
He said he was gonna pop off this
Be
year.
careful, bro.
Yeah, I said if he was healthy, he was going to pop off.
Yeah, but I don't see him
So-
on the court.
I don't see him either. To be honest, I don't, where's he
I
at?
don't see him either.
Look, he's hurt, so when he
I
comes back-
understand that, but
Look, when he comes back, he'll be hooping. Don't worry. Don't
Okay.
you worry.
Okay.
But
Okay,
I think
we have to
I think it'll be a lot of fun. And Giannis also gave a good idea, suggesting that you alternate the All-Star weekend between the U.S. and an international city. So let's say one year they have it. Next year it's in L.A. Then let's say the year afterwards you have it in Beijing, and then you have it in Phoenix, and then you have it in Paris, and then whatnot. Because
That's fine.
That's derived from the Ryder Cup and the President's Cup from
Nah, I'm not with
PGA.
that.
Because it gives each area sort of a chance to host. So
All right, I mean, here's the thing. I understand it because Adam Silver, what he's trying to do is he's trying to expand NBA into an international game, which it already is.
right,
But this is the National Basketball Association. This is the United States game,
and Canada,
right?
but Toronto Raptors.
Okay, and Canada.
But then why do they call them world champions?
yeah, it's a
That's
good
the
point.
counter argument.
It's a good point.
Plus, I think if you're let's say you're an NBA player, right? Put yourself in the mind of LeBron James. Would you be more apt to play harder in San Francisco or in Paris?
That wouldn't change anything about me. I would
feel like
play
it
hard
would,
all
though.
day long.
Because if you're abroad, these people don't get this opportunity very often. So you have to put on a show. That's kind of the argument that I would have for it.
I mean, I would do that for anyone. Like whether you're on San Francisco or an
Right.
international team, you got to play hard either way. If
Exactly.
you're not playing hard for your own city or your
Yeah.
own country, then how are you going to play hard for another country? You know?
yeah.
Right. I think it puts you in more of a, it's kind of like when you go to someone's house for dinner, you're more respectful. You're more, you're not as casual as you are at home. So you kind of have to make sure you're
guess.
on your best behavior, I guess.
It's a good analogy.
Yeah.
So
All right.
that's kind of what it is. But yeah, I was not a fan of this year's All-Star game. It was just way too much extra shit.
Yeah,
Outside of the game. It was barely games.
Yeah.
It was an interesting format. I'm glad we got to try it out, but time to move on. From
The
it, I
format
think.
actually has some promise to it because it did. There were guys playing defense. There were 7 blocks in the first game. So
Okay.
it's like it's possible for it to work.
Yeah.
But I don't know necessarily what their plan is for next year. Obviously, next year's will be at the Intuit Dome. Then 2027 will be at the Footprint Center in Phoenix. The finalists for 2028, Atlanta, Boston, Milwaukee, and Orlando.
Where the hell is MSG?
You guys had it a few years ago, no? Or we shared it in like 2015.
I don't think we've had it in a long time. Yeah, I don't think we've had it. Where the hell is MSG? Wait, what? Can I just throw in a funny tidbit? Actually, I was just looking
Yeah.
at
MSG's overrated.
you have any more All Star thing or no?
Oh, no. I was just saying MSG's overrated.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the NBA comes back on Thursday, but
Wednesday.
yeah, Tomorrow.
Wednesday night's Lakers
Yeah,
Hornets.
that's the most awkward game to have
Yeah, it
because
is.
the Hornets and Lakers with their trade. That's
Yes.
the most awkward. And apparently, Mark Williams still hasn't returned to the Hornets to report
Really?
back
He has
after that
not.
trade. So that's going to be one of the most weirdest games tomorrow. I think they're coming to LA.
Well, it'll technically be
But that-
tonight when this comes out.
Yeah, but that is just the weirdest single game to have, especially with that trade that didn't go well either.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. I mean, Dalton Connect played his butt off in the Rising Stars game.
He played well.
Yes.
Playing well.
Yeah,
So he was upset that LeBron didn't play because he wanted to dunk on him. But
that would have been really funny.
that would have been hilarious.
said that?
Yeah.
Well, I think all of LeBron's LA teammates want to have a chance to dunk over him.
Yeah.
Like it's just funny.
Nah,
joke.
bro. They saw Yabusele doing like, I want that.
Yes.
Like, I know Rich Paul was trying to get that video
knew that.
removed from planet Earth, but never happening.
No.
But
Make it happen, Rich.
why you want that gone? You want LeBron's
I'm
PR to be at an all-time high?
I'm just kidding.
So yeah, that's essentially the main gist of All-Star Weekend. That's kind of, you know. Oh, actually, can we put one more? Can we put one more tweet on the screen?
You going? Is this about
Can we put? I gotta find it.
Kevin Hart?
No.
Okay.
Please get Kevin Hart off the mic.
I agree.
Jokic was talking to him before the game. He thought he was somebody's kid.
Kevin Hart.
Really?
Yo, Jokic. You guys thought I was Patrick. Jokic is Patrick.
No, he knows who Kevin Hart is.
He's just
he didn't see him
joking.
from the backside.
Oh, okay.
So Jokic is hilarious though.
He was chirping at SGA. SGA looks so pissed off.
Jokic was?
No, Kevin Hart from
really?
from where like the booth was.
What was he saying?
He was saying he was wearing mustard shoes and like to just pop off. And
He just unveiled his new shoes too.
yeah.
So
He was calling him mustard.
yeah.
Yo.
Yeah, I don't
So,
know. Well, it's the tweet.
It is what it is. But we're going to put one more tweet on the screen. This is from my guy, Nick, at Nick is Washed on Twitter. Go follow, bro. This tweet blew up, got 1 million views, got 53,000 likes. Basically, you know how like when a player has a good game, it'll be like, oh, Nikola Jokic tonight, points, rebounds, assists, all that stuff. So here's the tweet. 27 minutes of basketball, 1 hour, 13 minutes of Kevin Hart being annoying and unfunny, 30 minutes of Draymond Green telling the Rising Stars they're worthless, 15 minutes of Mr. Beast filming a YouTube video, 1 hour of commercials. Nice job, Silva.
Silva.
Adam Silva.
Oh, Adam Silva.
So
I didn't even know the Mr. Beast thing was the Mr. Beast thing was even a thing.
shout out Jaron. He made the shot, won himself 100 grand.
Yes.
So big up, bro.
Yes.
But yeah, man, that's just nasty work from the NBA.
Yeah.
I don't know. Listen, I think every All-Star game I mean, the only fun thing I think about All-Star Weekend is just like the funny moments, of course, but like we want to see some more fun
I just
I
want
wanna
to
see
see highlights.
basketball.
and
Yeah,
basketball
basketball.
competitiveness.
Yeah.
Like we barely saw anything.
No,
Like,
yeah, exactly.
what we came here for.
Alperen Şengün and Pascal Siakam played like 2 seconds in the final game.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I know.
it is what it is. But do we have any final thoughts, comments, questions, concerns
Yeah, I mean-
regarding All-Star Weekend?
Really quickly, I'll just say, hopefully, the NBA learns from this that they make it more about the game itself rather than all the extracurriculars that go along with around the game. So
All the activations.
exactly,
Yeah.
and even the commercials, like just cut down on the commercials. Like
Yeah.
we don't got to do all that.
Right.
You know?
Like
Yeah.
this ain't the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah. And the Super Bowl actually uses the commercials during the breaks and don't do overtime. with it.
Exactly.
Right. So, it's the All-Star Weekend is, I don't think it's ever going to be fixed, to be honest. So
No.
it kind of is what it is.
Yeah.
And on that note, let's move on to the team spotlight. All right, into the next segment. Enough of the All-Star talk. We're done. We're over with. Let's get into my team spotlight. So my spotlight segment is always about picking someone or some team that's really playing well, quietly, or really quietly playing bad. We have another team to talk about this week. However, it's quite the opposite of what Portland's doing. We're going to talk about a team that's really been struggling as of late and quite frankly hasn't been talked about much, and it's the Orlando Magic. Now, we saw last year this team make the playoffs for the first time in Paolo's second or third season. And there was really a lot of promise with this squad. They almost beat Cleveland in the first round before bowing out in Game 7. And this year, they were off to a hot start. They got, obviously, KCP in the offseason, drafted Tristan da Silva, and things looked good. Then Paolo goes down. And then we see the rise of Franz Wagner, and they start to look really good. They almost, they make it out of their in-season tournament group. And then Franz goes down. Then Jalen Suggs plays really well, and then he goes down. And then all three of them came back at the same time, and now it's just not working. So the Magic have lost 11 of their last 15 games. This is spanning back to January 15th. In that span, they are 30th in offense and they're 16th in defense, which equates to 28th in net rating at negative 10.3. So just nothing's clicking at all offensively, even all year, because I looked at their first 41 games before January 15th. They were 28th in offensive rating. But here's the change. They were second in defense up until January 15th. So that equates to 11th place in the NBA in net rating at 1.8. So it's a humongous shift just from the defensive end that's kind of lowered this team. And they've been a slow team all season. I mean, in their first 41 games, they were rock bottom in pace. Now they are 29th in pace, so it really doesn't matter. They're just behind. I think they're just ahead of us with Brooklyn, if I'm not mistaken. So just not good. And quite frankly, the main issue I'm seeing with Orlando is what we saw with Boston a few weeks ago, just jacking up so many threes, and they're not making any of them. Paolo himself. Paolo's been struggling a lot over the past few weeks. He's averaging 19, 7, and 5. Good numbers. His efficiency's garbage. Shooting 39% from the field, 25% from 3, 63% from the free throw line. He's averaging 3 turnovers a game.
3?
3. And as for the Magic as a total, in their last 15 games, they're 30th in three-point percentage. 29% from behind the arc is gross. So that's essentially the gist of the Orlando Magic. I'll let y'all take the floor here. Any thoughts?
Listen, I'm happy he brought this team up because I'm not worried about this team at all. I think it's just a rough stretch for them. Everyone's back besides Mo Wagner. We know how critical he is to that team.
Yeah.
But we'll get into the next segment. You'll see how I rank them, and it's pretty good for their standard right now. But I think the All-Star break is needed because this team, I think, will regroup and rebound fairly well. Like I always said about Cleveland, they're too good to be bad. And I think that's the storyline with this team as well. The depth is there. I think the much needed 4 to 5 days off for Paolo to, I guess, regroup a little bit, Franz, all the other guys as well. The no moves at the deadline really is a little iffy. I think they should have gotten another, I guess, shooter. They're very lackluster on shooting. Franz is a really good shooter.
Wasn't KCP supposed to be that? You spent $66 million on him.
Yeah, I know. But I think they need more shooting. And KCP, of course, is not that guy for them right now.
He's not that guy.
No.
I mean, their bench can shoot. Cole can shoot. We forget about Gary Harris, but he's been kind of getting like garbage time minutes.
He's washed now, unfortunately.
But I think shooting should be their priority in the offseason as well.
Yeah.
They lack on shooting, which is the big thing. But I'm not worried about them. I think they're going to come back really strong. They're a really good young team. They remind me of Houston. Of course, Houston took that step forward this year. And
just because they're young or the style of play?
I think the youngness. Just the young guns coming up. I think with Houston, you have Amen that took off this year. Şengün. Jabari Smith is coming back, hopefully from injury soon.
Right.
Jalen Green as well. Reed Shepherd will take off hopefully soon. And all their guys on Orlando, they have taken off. Paolo and Franz will take a major step forward next year, hopefully.
Yeah.
Franz took it before his injury this year. Suggs, I want more out of Suggs. I think he needs to show his Gonzaga days where he was a dog.
Yeah.
I think we need that from him. I love what I'm seeing from Goga. Stepping in really well. For Wendell Carter, he is now starting over Wendell Carter, which I think is much deserved for him.
Goga.
Jonathan Isaac's looking a little better. I think we'll see. I mean, they have a tough 5 games coming up. They're playing their next 5 games. 2 of them are against the Cavs and the Rockets.
I'm checking right now the strength of schedule rankings. Let's see where Orlando is.
They're playing some tough. No, they're playing the next 5 games. They're playing the Grizzlies and the Mad Cavs. And then they have
Grizzlies, Cavs,
Wizards, Magic. No, Wizards, Hawks, Warriors.
Well,
Those are their next 5 games.
The good news for Orlando fans that the Magic have the 24th hardest remaining schedule left in the NBA. So, because you still have to play Cleveland twice. You got to play Boston. You got to play the Lakers now with Luka Doncic. But looking on the other end of the spectrum, you have to play the Wizards three more times.
Right.
So that's good. You still got to play the Pelicans. You got to play the Raptors twice. So opportunities for you to grow from there. But, nothing's guaranteed in the NBA. And, teams around you, like the Magic are 9th in the East right now. This is not good. And, me all season, I had to pick one team.
Magic are 7th.
Oh, they're 7th. They must have rose up before the All-Star break.
Yeah, they're
But I put them 8th in my preseason rankings. I've been regretting it all season, and now it looks like I might be right. Because I just needed to pick one team to kind of fall backwards. I didn't really expect them to be this injured. I just thought maybe they overachieved last year in the playoffs and they were going to take a step backwards. But my biggest issue is that they made no trades at all this season. They were one of 4 teams to not do anything at the deadline.
What was something that you would have liked to see them do at the trade deadline?
My trade was perfect. Colin Sexton.
I don't think
He's not a shooter.
I don't
Mark
think
shooting.
I don't think a shooting guard. I don't think a point guard was necessary because now they're in prime position to go get Trae Young, but at least get a shooter.
Yeah.
Like you didn't have to pour out the assets for Cam Johnson, but you could. Someone should have been available. Like you could have at least pried Duncan Robinson away from Miami, something like that. I don't
What
think
about
they
like a
would have done
Dalton
that.
Connect from the Lakers?
You would have had they probably
Give up a lot.
I
Wendell?
don't think the Lakers didn't want. They want a lob threat, so Mark Williams suited that.
Okay.
And that's kind of what it was. You easily could have gotten Quentin Grimes from Dallas, considering he was just given away with a second-round pick. Like, that's something you could have done.
DeAndre Hunter.
I think they were going to send him to a contender.
Yeah.
So,
That's
because, I mean,
so
I don't think anyone the Magic were going to send back is better than Karis LeVert and Georges Niang.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I think it's kind of fair enough to say that. But I don't really like what I'm seeing from Orlando, and I'm very worried about Paolo Banchero. Very worried about Paolo Banchero. I don't
How many
like
games has he played since he's been back from the injury?
17.
17 games.
And
And
he's averaging
nothing that he's shown you is
right now.
Yeah.
Right now, from what I'm seeing, he's very passive on both ends. He's struggling to shoot. He's shooting 25% from behind the arc. He can't even make free throws right now.
Is he settling? I haven't been watching the Magic much, but does he seem to be settling for
He seems to be doing. It's a lot of it's a mental thing. When you're injured for a long time, it almost you're scared to do some things because you could get re-injured and stuff like
He might
that.
not be 100%.
Well, what was it? His oblique?
Yeah, he strained his oblique.
Yeah, he might not be 100%. He might be like harboring the injury and not going full force because of the oblique.
Possible.
That's
That
exactly
I
what it
don't
could
know.
be.
But one thing I remember, I forgot who. I think it was Isaac from the Deep Three was saying like, Cade's going to be better than Paolo in however many years. And I replied to him and I'm like, maybe we should start kind of talking about the dialogue of Franz Wagner being better than Paolo Banchero. And I think we should start to talk about it more because I love what I'm seeing from Franz Wagner this season. He's been their number one option over the past 15 games.
Yeah.
So
Is that an overreaction or
I don't know if it's necessarily an overreaction, but look, Franz Wagner could be better than Paolo Banchero without Paolo being bad. Like Franz Wagner could have a higher ceiling.
interesting?
We just don't know. But right now, he's playing a lot better than Paolo Banchero is right now. And I don't particularly like what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, whenever I see stats that show that that a team is just chucking up threes, I mean, it's one of two things. I think it's either the team is just not together chemistry wise, like they're just not playing together, like their chemistry is not good, or they're injured or their conditioning is not good. It's one of those two things. So, not sure what it is for the Magic because I haven't been watching them, but it's one of those things. What do you think it is, though?
I just think they're kind of just struggling collectively right now. I just don't really think they're locked in as a group because they haven't really played with each other for all that long. I mean,
exactly.
You lost Paolo 5 games into the season. You lost Franz a month later, and then you lost Suggs for a little bit. So I'm looking at the 3-point volume right now. The 3-point frequency, the Magic currently cannot even find them. They're like near the bottom of the list.
Oh, so they don't chuck up threes.
They're kind of going through a little bit of identity crisis right now.
Yeah.
Now that everyone's back, they could find identity if they move up the rankings, but it won't be far. It'll probably be like maybe closer to Detroit and Milwaukee, which is like a 5-6 seed.
Yeah.
That's probably how the highest they'll go.
I think they'll be fine, honestly. I think their offense, that'll come along, but don't focus on that. Really just focus on their defense because that's what they were good at.
Yeah.
Right.
They were number 2. Focus on getting that back,
That's fair.
and then we'll see where you go from there.
Yeah.
I think right now you do the best you can, and if Trae Young becomes available, go get him.
Yeah.
They need a point guard
Okay.
desperately. That's their biggest problem right now, I think,
Right.
is they don't have a floor general.
And Suggs is not that guy.
Suggs is really a 2 guard.
Yeah,
You really
he's a
can't
2
make
guard.
Suggs play the point.
Okay.
He's a decent playmaker, but come on, when you're comparing him to Trae Young, who's leading the league in assists,
Yeah.
like
Exactly.
That's something they need. If they really want to be in the conversation with Cleveland and Boston, that's what you have to do.
Yeah. And then Atlanta enters full rebuild, and then you just,
Exactly.
That's how it goes.
Because they have pieces they can give them.
Oh, of course.
So that's kind of what it is. And we'll see what the Magic do from here. So
Yeah.
any final thoughts, comments, questions, concerns before we get in to the main part of the show?
Let's go.
Let's do it. All right, into the main segment. It's time to rank some NBA teams. Lads, are we ready to get into it?
Yes. I love doing this.
So these are essentially power rankings after the All-Star break. And how this is going to work is how we always do it. One person's going to headline each segment. We're going to do in blocks of 5. So from 30 to 26 and so on and so forth up until the top 5. Make sure for the Spotify viewers to read, your placements for everything. And that will be that. We'll kind of debate and then we'll reveal the other two and everything like that. So any questions before we kind of dive right in?
I'm ready to dive, bro.
Let's go.
All right, so on the screen right now, you'll see our other overlay. I'll have some random, thing just on
Yeah.
the screen just to put it in. So let's get into the first one. These are our bottom 5 teams. So just remember to say like in 30th, I have that,
Yeah.
everything like that. So
I'm up first.
Antoine, you are headlining this section. So read away.
Okay, I think we're going to have the same 5, hopefully. So Wizards are bottom barrel at 30, followed by Charlotte at 29, New Orleans at 28, Utah at 27, and Toronto at 26.
Interesting. I'm surprised you have the Raptors that low. Especially they just got Brandon Ingram
I agree
He's out,
with
though.
for a month, but he'll be back
Yeah.
in March.
That's the end of the season.
Raptors are a good team, man.
They're a good team. They're like a fringe playing just out
Yeah.
of the playoffs.
I don't know. We'll see.
Because, I mean, look, the first 4 teams are kind of like, if you don't have the Jazz, Pelicans, Hornets, and Wizards on here, then, like,
Yeah.
what are you realistically doing?
Yeah.
But, yeah, I have the Raptors higher. I will say that.
Okay.
I think I have the Raptors around the same area as Anthony, but
That's fair. They're a tier up, though, no?
yeah, maybe.
Maybe. That's
So,
fine.
Yeah, not much else, too. I really can't say much. Maybe you move the Jazz lower because they intentionally lose a lot more games, but I do think they are better than the bottom 3.
Yes.
For sure.
Do you want to get into our teams?
Let's do it.
All right. Do you want to read yours or me?
I'll go first.
All right. Read away.
Also, I do have the Raptors.
Oh,
in the
you
same
do?
spot.
Okay.
All right, so Wizards, bottom of the barrel, Pelicans, then the Jazz, then the Hornets, then the Raptors.
And I have
I mean,
the
so-
Oh, yeah. Do you want me to read
I was gonna say
mine?
Wizards, so unanimously the worst team.
Yeah, I mean they're garbage. Come on, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
And the guys they traded for are not healthy, so I don't really know when we're going to see Middleton or Smart on the floor. So I have the Wizards in 30th, the Hornets in 29th, I have the Jazz in 28th, the Pelicans in 27th, and I have the 76ers in 26.
I'm not complaining with that.
Yeah, I mean, look, this team is so damn embarrassing. Like, how do you have the roster you have? And like, we were grading. This was like a top 2 offseason they had out of the entire NBA, and they're one of the worst teams in the league.
This has to be probably one of the most disappointing teams in NBA history.
Right
Yeah.
now, with them and the Suns this year are equally as disappointing. I would put Philly higher purely for the fact that they signed Paul George without giving up anything.
Right.
And after what we saw, Embiid looked healthy as ever in the Olympics. I thought the Sixers were going to have a good season,
I agree.
especially with the rise of Maxey just off an MIP season. They're garbage, man.
We were so high on them. You had them
I had 'em
almost
top
going
3.
to the conference final.
had 'em top 3.
He had them going to the finals.
Did I have
They
them
had
going
three.
to the finals?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Wow.
You did.
You're so cooked, bro.
You really are.
We were so high on the off season.
I forgot. Someone replied to me on Twitter and said, "Someone tell Gio that Embiid has to play games for them to make the playoffs." But
We were so high on them.
they really were, and it's crazy. And shout out, there was a few people that I know that said the Sixers would miss the playoffs completely. So shout out them.
Okay.
I forgot who it was,
I
but
saw it.
if I remember, I don't remember. It might have been Liv Moods, but I remember.
Okay.
I think she said that the Sixers would miss everything completely. So shout out her for that.
Wow.
And yeah, I mean the rest of the teams, the bottom 5 are the bottom 5. They're going to involve the least amount of dialogue because they're so irrelevant and so ass, and they're ass on a generational level.
Yeah, nothing else needs to be said here.
Do any of these teams on the screen get Cooper Flag? If he stays, if
Yeah.
he goes to the draft,
He might lose out. Cooper might stay another year at Duke.
that's because the Nets are too good. I think he knows this.
Oh my God. No, he loves college life.
Do you think Cooper stays?
I think he
Yes.
might.
Yeah. He loves college life.
What do you
I
mean
think
he
that-
loves college life?
Come on, it's Cooper Flag.
He loves being at Duke.
Yeah.
So
You know he's getting everything handed to him there.
yeah,
But
like I said,
in
these
the
guys
NBA,
are
same thing.
These guys are pampered. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens.
I think he enjoys college. He doesn't want to go right into adulting. He wants to enjoy college life a little bit.
I don't know. I think he still
Like,
declares.
He might.
Okay.
I think so.
see.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe because he'll be next year it could be Cooper and DeBansta.
Yeah.
You're not going to lose out either one or two.
Right. So it's a WW
Yeah.
win-win. So yeah, pretty simple for the first 5. Do we have any sort of final thoughts regarding them?
No.
All right, let's get into the next teams. This is 25 through 21. I believe I'm headlining this segment, and I am. So here are my teams. So in 25th, I have the Chicago Bulls. 24th, I have my Brooklyn Nets. 23rd, I have the Portland Trailblazers. In 22nd, I have the Toronto Raptors. And in 21st, I have the now depleted Atlanta Hawks.
Okay. I have pretty much the same thing, just in different order.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Raptors. I think you guys didn't give the Raptors enough credit,
Raptors,
to be
yeah.
honest. I think the way they've been playing outside of the results, I do think they'll win more games to close the season.
Okay.
You have them over the Blazers, though.
Well, I know they were trying to tank, right?
They are trying to tank.
Like, so
yeah.
then, you know what I mean? Like, what are they trying to do here? And then they go and get Brandon Ingram. So what is the goal, really?
I think
I don't know
that
what they're planning.
They have
I'm
their
confused.
they have their core right now. I think that's what they're gonna.
And they just
roll
extended
with.
him.
Yeah.
So I had them over Portland just because Portland's not going to keep this up. Like they're
Who
gonna,
knows?
Portland's
They
Portland's
could.
going to realize that they need to tank and they're going to lose more games.
All right.
Where'd you
So-
put Portland?
We'll see when he
Okay.
reveals it.
And then yeah, obviously I would put the Nets over the Bulls just because we're playing way better than we should be.
Yes.
We didn't make trades. The Bulls are kind of ass now. Levine's gone. Atlanta, there's
Yeah.
really no hope left for them anymore.
When he put the Nets over the Bulls, that funny. You'll see why.
Question on Matas, though. Like,
Yeah.
is he getting any minutes?
He is.
Yes, he's
playing.
starting. He's starting now.
He's playing now?
Yeah.
He's starting?
He's starting.
Good. How's he been doing?
He's been playing okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's young.
I
he's
see
raw.
why he fell from the top 5.
Okay.
Because he's definitely not top 5
No.
level.
He's not polished.
No, he's
No.
raw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair.
So he definitely has a few years to develop and kind of get
Yeah.
things right.
Yeah.
But not too shabby at all. Let's get into y'all. So Antoine, go ahead and read yours.
Wow. Okay. So Sixers, of course, bottom barrel. We have the Bulls over the Nets. That's what I was gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
The Bulls think a little talent wise over the Nets a little better.
Okay.
So 76ers at 25th, Blazers at 24, Nets at 23, Bulls at 22, and Spurs at 21.
Oh, so you both have the Spurs down there. I'll let you read
Yeah.
yours first, Gio.
Yeah. So I got the Nets at 25, Bulls, then the Sixers, then the Blazers, then the Spurs at 21.
So what are the odds? He would have the Nets highest out of all 3 of us.
Yeah.
He's a fake Knicks fan, confirmed.
It's one spot compared to his. Okay, like they're all there.
Question: why the Spurs so low?
Because I think they need more time.
Here's why I have him here. Is we didn't get to see enough of De'Aaron Fox
Yeah.
with the Spurs yet. So
Okay.
this is as of now, this is their power rankings. I'm not ranking them based on what they could be.
Okay,
you know what I
that's
mean?
fair.
If I was doing that, they would be a whole hell of a lot much higher.
Right.
So
Yeah, they need more time. I think they could squeak that 10th spot for the plan.
Oh yeah, I think they can
will.
easily get
They
it
will.
because they're gonna pass Phoenix if they haven't already.
Ooh, I don't know. I think Phoenix could still KD. Don't rule them out.
I mean, I could.
I'm ruling them out.
I would like to
You're
rule
ruling
out
them out?
Phoenix right now.
Okay.
Yeah. But this team is so garbage.
That's fine.
So because they're going to trade KD in the summer, so I would like to imagine they leapfrog Phoenix.
I would hope.
Who knows who else they could keep going up? I mean, with Wemby and Fox as your like duo, especially with the way Castle's playing.
Right.
Like my goodness, this
The,
team's
the
good.
Spurs also have the Hawks pick this year. If the Hawks fall really bad, they can get a top 5 pick. In the
That's
draft.
Whoa.
That's why I said the Spurs should go out and try and win every game possible because
Yeah.
you're going to wind up getting at least a top 7
They
pick
can get
from
top-
Atlanta.
and then their own first as well.
Right.
Spurs, man.
So 2 lottery picks potentially.
Wemby is gonna be set.
He's going to be
Yeah.
he's going to be good, bro.
Whoa.
Spurs knew what they were doing.
Wemby just needs to get his conditioning up, and he's going to retire probably one of the all-time great players.
Yeah, we'll see.
So
It's
as
doable.
far as everything else on the list goes, why the Bulls over the Nets? I'm actually curious by that.
Their starting 5 is so much better.
Is it?
I wouldn't
though?
say so much better.
You need
but
Kobe White, Io DeSumo,
Just-
Josh Giddey.
I actually think our starting 5 is better.
I don't know about that. It's close. But I put them over the Nets because it seems to me the Nets are trying to lose games.
We can't.
They're winning.
We've been
I
playing,
know.
bro. Do you realize in the past, however many? I think in the past 3 weeks, we are first in defense.
I know, but like when it comes to like some like I don't know, I forget what it was. It was a specific thing where the Nets should have won and they didn't because it was clear they were trying to tank.
Yeah.
So like it's stuff like that where I'm like, you guys are not trying. I'm gonna keep you guys lower.
That's fair.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's just we're playing way better than we should be.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
exactly.
it's really hurting my soul
Yeah,
because it's painful, man.
I know.
Like how are we 30th in offense and first in defense? Like we are the funniest team in NBA history.
It's actually crazy.
Like it's like bar none.
Listen.
So look, it is
Don't
what
worry,
it is, man.
it's only because Cam Thomas is not playing. If he was playing, you guys would be like 30th,
Exactly.
30th in defense, and then
Okay, yeah. Keep telling
we'll see where it
yourself
goes
that.
on the
And they'd have more wins. They'd probably be top 15 on.
Man, I guarantee you, he would rip his arm clean off his socket for a Cam Thomas or Mikal Bridges swap.
He's not playing right now.
Yeah, but I'm saying when
Would
he
you?
is playing,
No.
Would you want Mikal Bridges
Mikhail's
for?
fine right now. He's playing.
He's playing well.
The best. What's the term?
the best what? the best ability.
The best ability
is
is
availability.
availability.
There you go.
Cam hasn't been seen since last year.
Okay, keep telling yourself
Okay.
that. Keep telling yourself that.
All right.
Cam
but
hasn't been seen since
next
last
5.
year.
But yeah, let's. Any final thoughts regarding this batch of 5?
Nah.
No.
All right, let's get into the next 5. This is what 20 through 16.
Yeah.
Gio, you my friend are headlining this segment, so
Yeah.
read away.
So at number 20, I got the Atlanta Hawks. 19 is the Orlando Magic. 18 is the Heat. 17 the Suns, and 16 is the Kings.
Okay.
Okay, I understand this. The Magic are low, but I'm not have them low because I have hopes. But
Okay.
I have nothing wrong with this.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to see if I have any sort of issues. I don't think I do.
I don't. Yeah.
Low key, you might have put the Suns too high.
I may have.
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe a 1-2 or 1 or 2
I
spot.
would probably. All right, let me think.
I would swap the Heat and I would swap the Magic and the Suns.
Nah.
You know what? I'm going to just leave it the way it is.
Yeah, leave it the way. Stand on
fine.
business, unlike some
stand on
people.
business.
Listen, I saw it from listen.
You saw it from a mile
I saw
away.
it from a mile away.
Yeah, you definitely did. Curious, Hawks over the Spurs. Why?
Oh yeah, good. Did I? Oh, I have the same thing.
Why both of you?
I think just Trey's still there
Yeah, but he's got like a worse
and
team. around
Jalen
him
Johnson.
now. He's out for the season.
I know, but I know, but
You're
I
right,
would-
and Hunter's gone. Okay, hold on.
No wait, no,
Hold on.
stand on business.
I don't know if I can stand on business with this
No,
one.
I think they'll be fine.
And Bogey's gone too.
But Bogey was out the whole year.
All right,
They just
yeah.
lost Hunter.
I would probably swap Spurs and Hawks right now.
Okay, that's fair.
I forgot to factor in everything that just happened with the Hawks.
But they do have Karis LeVert. They do have Georges Niang. They've both
Yeah.
been playing decently well for them.
Yeah.
Still,
Rita
Understandable.
Shea is back. Okongwu, Capella's still there.
still.
Team's still ass, bro.
I don't know. Listen,
You
dude.
can try to
Dyson Daniels is
convince
still
me.
there.
Yeah.
He's Dyson.
He's
He's
Dyson.
Dyson.
We don't revert them out yet.
So,
I ruled him out, but
Okay, you've ruled them out. That's fine.
in my honest opinion, the hardest team to place on this list was Miami.
Yes.
There's no gauge to them
Yes.
because they completely changed up everything. They have the lowest floor and the highest ceiling right
do.
now. It really does. They make no sense.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
but yeah, do you want to get into ours, Antoine?
Let's go.
All right, read off yours.
All right. So the Heat are 20th for me because, like Tyler said, the gauge, and I don't love Wiggins, and Davion Mitchell is great, and then Bam, we'll have to see what goes on with him. The 19th are the Hawks, 18th are the Suns, 17th are the Warriors, and 16th are the Kings. We're all agreed.
yeah.
The Kings are 16th.
Wow, you have the Mavericks pretty low.
Yeah,
I
he is
do.
the
So I
Mavs.
have
Interesting.
I have in 20th I have the Miami Heat. 19th I have the Phoenix Suns. 18th I have the San Antonio Spurs. 17th I have the Dallas Mavericks, and 16th I have the Sacramento Kings.
He's hating on Nico.
Not
That's
necessarily. It's not necessarily hating on Nico. It's the fact that the Mavs won't have a big man for at least the next month and a half to 2 months.
AD, right?
yeah.
AD's out, Gafford's out, Lively's out.
Wow.
They have no one. Dwight Powell's out for the season, I think. So
Yeah.
this team's in a lot of trouble.
Dwight Powell's been out for like
Right.
the past 2 years.
Yeah. I'm curious why you have the Warriors so low.
Yeah.
I'm not high on them.
Mm-hmm.
Really? The Warriors have
Butler?
actually changed my mind a little bit here.
No,
Jimmy Butler brings a whole different
does.
vibe to Golden State.
I don't know. I'm not high on them.
I actually like the trade.
I'm shocked you do, to be
I
honest.
do
You
like
guys
the trade.
all change up last second, okay? Then
No.
No, the only thing I questioned was how the fit was going to be, and I saw the fit's good.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Originally, I'm like, I don't know if this is going to fit, but I saw it, and I'm like, okay, this is not bad.
I could move them past Sacramento, but that's as far as I'm going.
I think they're definitely a tier above these 5 teams for
Yeah, I
sure.
agree.
And I also think the Spurs are a tier above the previous 5.
Okay.
I think even with a Fox Castle backcourt duo, not even mentioning Wemby yet. It's good. The only reason why they're not higher is because they don't have a backup big now that Zach Collins has got.
Right.
So we'll
Yeah.
see what they do from there. If they buy anyone in the buyout market or anything. But yeah, man, I'm very concerned about Dallas for this season specifically, in the sense of you're probably going to wind up losing Kyrie in the offseason. He's probably going to opt out or at least opt in and ask for a trade.
Okay.
Lively's out for a few months. Gafford just sprained his knee. I think he has a grade 3 MCL sprain.
Oh wow.
He's out for a long time. And, who knows when AD comes back. We'll see. This team's probably going to be riding the injury wave for a long time.
Okay.
And I think they're going to miss the playoffs, the play-in.
Wow.
And they're already in the play-in as of right now.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be a total collapse of a season for Dallas.
Okay.
So, and also fuck Nico Harrison, but we all know that. As far as the rest of the teams goes on here, nothing really too else. We all agreed on the Kings.
Yeah.
So they could really
good.
go anywhere else.
They could.
So any other final thoughts on these teams before we get into the next batch?
Let's go.
All right, so these are the top half of the NBA teams. There should be more dialogue and more disagreements regarding these teams. Antoine, you are headlining this segment.
Let's go.
So read away your next 5 teams.
All right, so 15th is Dallas for me. 14th is Minnesota. 13th is the Magic. I'm very high on them still. 12th is Detroit. And 11th is Milwaukee.
Okay.
Wow.
Pretty straightforward.
Pistons. Okay.
I like it.
Top 12.
I like it.
Yeah, they're in their same spot.
Bro, imagine doing this like 4 months ago. That'd be funny as hell.
Crazy.
It would be.
Would have never in a million years guessed that the Pistons would be this high.
Yeah.
Now, Milwaukee's not in the top 10 because I don't like Kuzma.
I'm fine with that. I mean, to be fair, the West is better, so there's more West teams in the top 10,
There
I would
is.
imagine.
Yeah. The
I
Mavs are bottom barrel still. Minnesota's still bottom barrel, top 15.
I mean, it's not bottom barrel. They're,
Well, the bottom of the top 15.
oh, fair. Yeah.
That's how I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really have too much of an issue with this list, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So, you want to get into ours?
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead, Gio. Read off yours.
Yeah, so I have Pistons at 15, then the Warriors, then Mavericks, then Clippers, and Timberwolves.
You have the Timberwolves a lot higher
Whoa,
than Antoine.
I do.
as well. I have the Magic in 15th, the Warriors in 14th, the Pistons in 13th, the Timberwolves in 12th, and I have the Clippers in 11th. So, Antoine, you have the Clippers in your
Wow.
top 10.
They are
reasoning
my top
behind
10.
that?
I'm riding their wave. I think they're going to be great. But yeah, they're 10th. They're pretty close to you
Okay,
guys.
yeah, fair enough.
They're pretty close
I was
to you
fighting with
guys.
10th and 11th for the Clippers. I just, with the way Kawhi looks, I just can't put him in my top 10 right
Right.
now.
Yeah.
It's such a sad sight to see.
We have them all. We have all mixed very well. That's good.
I
Yeah.
think Timberwolves were another difficult
Yeah,
team to place.
they are.
They are.
Because without Julius Randle, they're playing very good basketball.
Yeah.
With Julius Randle,
Exactly.
they're playing basketball. We'll leave it at that.
Exactly that, bro.
Yeah, I'm fine with where. I think all of these are interchangeable, so I am perfectly fine of where you have certain. You already did Magic.
We-
What do you think about me putting the Pistons this low at 15 compared to you guys?
It's tough to call because the Pistons have lost some games they should have won. I understand that. It's just, for me, if you look at the East, I feel like the Pistons could easily give teams problems. Because like I said, outside of Boston and Cleveland, anyone else can lose in any round. I don't trust the remaining 13 teams in the conference. So I think the Pistons could easily make a run. I think they could easily fall apart. It really just comes down to that. And the ceiling is really high for this Pistons team. I'm more curious we have Bucks over Clippers. He does not. So
Interesting.
That is correct.
yeah, like I think we'll talk about it when we get into the top 10. But yeah, I mean, we obviously have the Warriors in this tier. I do think the Jimmy Butler trade dramatically improved this team. They'll be at least play-in.
Yeah.
They could at least get themselves into the top 6. I think it's possible.
They could do it.
Good.
I don't know.
We'll have to
It
see.
depends.
We will
Really
see.
depends.
But, I mean, that's a lot of work.
It
They
is,
want to
yeah.
do that. It's a
It's
lot
very
of work
fair.
to do.
So yeah. Any final thoughts regarding the top 15?
No, let's go.
Let's
Top
get
10.
into the top 10. All right, this is the segment that I am headlining here. And this is my top
Nice.
10. So in number 10, I have the Milwaukee Bucks. In 9th, I have the Houston Rockets. 8th, I have the Memphis Grizzlies. 7th, I have the Los Angeles Lakers. And in 6th, I have the New York Knicks.
Wow. You're pretty high in the Knicks, huh?
Yeah, right now there's no one else playing good
Yeah,
basketball
yeah,
right now. I
yeah.
kind of had to put them there.
Yeah.
If the Lakers got Mark Williams, I would have swapped them.
I wonder where Anthony put the Knicks.
You'll see. You'll have to see. Do we have any sort of issues regarding where I placed anything?
I would like to see the Rock. I mean, I know the Rockets haven't been they're in sort of like a mini slump.
They've been playing very bad.
Yeah, but I still believe in them. So I think I place them a little bit higher.
That's fair.
But I don't mind them being at 9 for you because it makes sense. You know,
Because
it's understandable.
My reasoning for this whole, like these 5 teams specifically, is obviously, like I said, the Knicks are just the best out of these 5. You really can't. They're more complete on the offensive side of the ball. The Lakers, obviously, they got Luka in the building now, but there's some health issues regarding this roster. Memphis is just more playoff proven than Houston is, and Milwaukee would be above Houston if Giannis didn't get injured.
Okay.
So
I'm fine with this, but he has Indiana rated way
Yeah.
too high.
look, I put them in my finals. I
He
kind
has
of
them
have to put them higher.
way too high.
forgot about
was,
Indiana.
I was trying to figure out who he has in the
Bring
top
our
5.
bring our list up here. I want to see where I
Indiana.
put.
Yeah, let me get into y'all's. Antoine, read yours off.
Oh yeah,
Oh, thank you.
yeah. Put it here. Put it here. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah, so Clippers are 10th. They're right there. Lakers are 9th. Pacers are 8th. They should be there. They're not top 5 at all, in my opinion. And Gio agrees with me. Thank you, Gio.
Yeah.
Okay. 7th are the Rockets, and the Grizzlies are in 6th. I think because the Grizzlies are a little more experienced, I think, than the Rockets right now.
Yeah.
Pacers, I don't trust right now with their just Hallie off right now. I love Mathurin. He's great. Miles Turner's been out.
There's only
Spicy P is there. We
There's
love
only
Spicy
like
P.
there's only like a 3.5 to 4.5 game difference between the Knicks and the Pacers right now, so they could easily catch up. They've already
They're
gotten.
close East.
I just looked. They've gotten themselves into the 4 seed in the East.
They're 5.5 games behind.
That's easily something they could catch up.
But they're
on.
not better than the Knicks.
They're
though.
not.
The only reason why I put them in my top 5 is because I picked them to go to the finals. in the
okay,
preseason. I
that's
have to
fine.
stand on
A little
business.
sprinkle of bias
Had to,
and
yeah.
stand on business. I get it.
Exactly.
That's fine.
I get it. Very justifiable.
No, be like me.
Because I was gonna put the Knicks in my top 5, but I was like, nah, I'm good.
All right, so I'll read off mine. I have the Pacers at 10, Bucks at 9, Lakers at 8, Rockets at 7, and Grizzlies at 6.
You have the very least have to put the Pacers over Milwaukee right now.
Ooh,
I
yeah,
don't like
I
the
agree with
Pacers.
you. I don't think
I
the Bucks
like
are
them.
stronger.
Listen,
You like Carl Kuzma more than
I
the
think.
Pacers right now?
Look. No, I really don't.
Exactly.
But if the Bucks are healthy, right? Giannis is healthy, which
Yeah.
I expect him to be healthy soon. I think this Bucks team is better.
Okay.
Easy. That's just,
Fair enough.
Okay.
You know,
But remember,
that's that simple.
it's been 3.5 playoffs since Giannis has been healthy.
Okay, we don't have to bring history into this.
But
We're
it
talking
it
about-
comes into account.
it does. But
And
we're
is
talking
there a
about this
reason?
year.
Is there a reason why you both have the Grizzlies and Rockets above the Lakers?
Yes,
I don't believe the
because
Lakers-
they don't have a center.
That's fair.
I don't, and plus Luka's been looking pretty lackluster in his first 2
I
games.
mean, he's just starting to come back.
He missed 3 months. So
Oh my
like-
God, what did you bring up?
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Oh,
All right, you were saying.
What did you just reveal?
I accidentally
You
read
wrote
the
his
top
pi-
5.
his
They're not
pitch-
going to see it.
no,
Okay.
yeah, we're not going to see
Yeah.
it.
But anyways, what was like? He missed 3 months, so like, you really can't fault him too much.
Yeah.
I don't know about. I have the Lakers a little bit lower than you, Tyler, because
We've
I
been
don't-
7, 8, 9.
Yeah.
I just don't see the LeBron Luka combo being
Working?
too good.
That's fair. But we also got to take into account that Ja has not been particularly good this season.
Yeah, we're
the-
banking off of the core.
But as the team, they've been
Besides
pretty
Ja.
decent.
Still, yeah, they are top 3 in the West, but I do think they'll fall backwards. I do think Denver will overtake them.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the Grizzlies and Rockets they're coming back down to earth a little bit. And that's the main reasoning of why I have the Lakers above them. Because at
Okay.
the end of the day, it comes down to experience. When you got 2 of the best playoff risers in the game on one team together, I think they'll get it done.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it depends.
Can't
You could
argue.
easily swap the Lakers and Grizzlies.
Oh,
but I
for
do
sure.
think the Grizzlies and Lakers both go above Houston right now.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's kind of that. And I don't know as far as everything else goes, I don't hate the Clippers in the top 10.
No.
I don't hate that at all.
Yeah.
I don't hate the Pacers in the 8th spot. I just think they should be higher than 10 at the very least.
Ooh,
Don't think so.
I don't know. All right, Gio.
So we'll just have to
Gio.
see. This team's basically on the same path as they were last year. And
The
they got-
Pacers?
yeah. So, and this is with Hallie playing bad. So if he could wake up,
If he wakes up, that might be scary.
yeah, exactly.
We'll see though.
So, because we're obviously seeing Siakam play better now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have to see going forward.
Yeah, he might need a bunch of 5-hour energies to wake up though. That's the thing. We'll see.
Hey, look, we'll have to find out and see. We'll see if I'm a genius or an idiot in come June. So, Ready to get into the top 5?
Let's go.
Okay, Mr. O.
All right, Gio, you are headlining the
Let's
top
go.
5. Read away.
My top 5. I have the Knicks at 5. I have the Nuggets at 4, Celtics at 3, Cavaliers at 2, and Thunder at 1.
Yeah.
What do we think?
Oof.
Look, I don't really have that much of an issue with this top 5. You got to give respect to the Celtics as the defending champs. You got to give respect to the Thunder, kind of doing what they're
Okay.
doing. Cleveland, right
So-
there.
5 is phenomenal. But I would swap your 3 and your 4 and your 2 and your 1.
My 3 and my 4.
And your 2 and your 1.
Okay, so you got Cavs
We'll
at 1.
segue to Antoine's. This is
Yeah.
Antoine's top
Yes.
I see.
5. So read off your top 5.
So if Knicks is 5th, like Mr. Gio, Nuggets and Celtics 4,
Really?
Nuggets 3, Denver 2. I mean, Thunder 2, Cavs 1.
So you think the Nuggets are better than the Celtics?
100%. The
Okay.
Celtics look like their championship hungover.
Okay.
They don't want it.
Okay.
I don't see that. They don't want it as much.
I'll have a question for him in a minute. Let me just read my top 5. So I have
Yeah.
the Pacers in 5th. I have the Nuggets in 4th, the Celtics in 3rd, the Cavs in 2nd, and I have OKC in 1st. I struggled with 3 and 4 between Denver and Boston because against each other, Denver usually wins. Obviously, Jokic didn't play in the game this year, but they still have to play each other one more time. But my thing is, I don't want to be blinded by this 8-game win streak that the Nuggets have right now. I got to remind myself that they had some really rough stretches this season where they just looked awful. Like they look play-in bad. And Boston, look, I don't want to be blinded by their little 10-game skid. I want to remember that this team is insanely good, and you got to give respect to the defending champions.
So that's why.
That's why I have the Celtics in 3rd.
Yeah.
I do think they have a better shot at winning the title
I agree with that.
than the Nuggets do, just purely for the fact that the East is, for lack of better words, a cakewalk.
I wouldn't call it a cakewalk. I mean,
If Cleveland gets bounced early, the Celtics are walking to the finals. And just like the opposite, if Boston gets bounced early, I think
I don't know,
Cleveland
man.
walks to the finals.
I think the Knicks can put up a fight. I think to your point, the Pacers, if they come alive, they can definitely
Right.
put up a fight. I don't
Yeah.
know if it's a cakewalk.
I think the Pacers and the Knicks right now are you could throw Milwaukee in there too.
Yeah.
They're very hit or miss. It's just the problem is the Knicks and Bucks have such a humongous hole defensively. We all know the Pacers do also, but in the playoffs we saw them lock up defensively in all their series, and that's kind of the big question mark I have regarding these teams. Now the real question I want to know: why Cleveland over OKC?
Yeah.
Because even I'm questioning that.
I'm the outlier. I'm the one that saw it from the beginning.
Okay.
Okay.
You know why? Because I love Hunter getting added in.
Okay.
I am taking a healthy Evan Mobley over Chet right now. Chet is a little lackluster right now.
I think I agree with that right now.
He also just missed 3
Yes.
months, but
I don't know. I think
Right now, I
if,
agree.
If Chet comes back and he fires a little bit better than Mobley, I will see. Also, I think Hartenstein's been a little lackluster a little bit himself. I think we're not seeing Nick's Hartenstein a little bit.
He's been playing good.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's been playing good.
I don't know. I mean, because I'm a little.
I don't
I
know.
want him to play like Nick's Hartenstein. We're not taking Jared Allen over him.
That's not his role, though.
Yeah.
His role is totally different on this OKC
I know.
team
That's
now.
why I want to see Nick's Hartenstein. That's what I'm banking on.
Exactly.
That's
Nick
why.
Hartenstein was good for the first round and a half, and then he kind of fell off.
But yeah, and then I love Hunter. I love, of course, Drew's going to the bench now, or vice versa. And I think Mitchell.
Hunter's coming off the bench.
Okay, either way, I feel like.
Now you need Strus to start for spacing reasons.
Yeah. Garland, I think, is having a phenomenal year. SGA as well. I think Donovan as well is having a phenomenal year. That whole starting 5 is going to be great.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love the Thunder. This was hard. I'm going off of just. I think their depth is a little better. I wouldn't. They're both kind of even
They're
with
very
depth.
even.
I'm going off of their front court being a lot better than OKC's. That's
fair.
my big money
Yeah.
maker.
I'm not mad at you putting the Cavaliers at 1.
I don't hate it. It's just right now. I mean, the fact that the Thunder are 44-10 without their second best player.
That's the depth.
Still, though, the fact that they were this good without the fact that Hartenstein and Chet, I think, have played 2 games together. They've played the other games without them, and they're 44-10. Says a lot.
It does.
Now, it doesn't mean I think they're going to win the title. I just think right now you have to give them the respect of the fact that they did play this well without a full strength roster. Because
course.
right now, I don't really know who I would take in a series. I would probably favor Cleveland, But right now, you just have to give respect to OKC.
Yeah.
The fact that they're the best team in the NBA, the fact that they have one of the best coaches in the league, along with Cleveland does too. But right now, I think you just have to give them just the slight bit ahead.
Yeah.
What are your
I
thoughts
think it
on that,
goes
Gio?
either way.
No, yeah, I agree 100%. That's why I put the Thunder above the Cavaliers.
I'm shocked you even put the Cavs in your top 2, to be honest.
Yeah, I know. Look,
Where'd you want to put them?
if I was being honest, I really wanted to put them below the Knicks.
Yes.
I wanted to put them at 6.
That's wild.
Yeah.
But I had to be objective.
Believe.
I had to be objective.
Yeah, you had to be
Believe.
objective.
Believe.
Okay.
Okay. Can someone edit that and just make their own?
Believe
Yeah.
in the garden.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyways.
There's no more weeds. It's all beautiful flowers.
Okay.
Okay.
The weeds are gone. They're now in Brooklyn where they belong.
I
Is he still
I
going?
hope someone plays this on repeat if they lose in the first round.
Then the weeds will be back.
I might do this myself. I might make an edit of Anthony.
Yeah, please do. Please do.
Yeah.
No, Tyler, bookmark that into like a meme of me
Yeah, I'm going to.
doing that.
Yeah, because I don't know. To me, there's a lot of question marks surrounding the Knicks, and I think there are with the Pacers too. But
Like what?
with the Pacers, the
No,
fact
the
that
Knicks.
the Knicks defensively, I just cannot trust this team whatsoever. They can't guard anyone, especially in the interior.
What's their defensive rating?
Let me go look right
Listen,
now.
also when Mitch
That
comes,
will tell me a lot.
When Mitch comes back, he's one wrong step away from getting back to injured and being out for 4
Yo,
months.
Still, but why?
Yo, stop talking trash about your own Knicks
He's
players.
so
bro.
bad.
why are we acting like Mitchell Robinson is like the next coming of Dikembe Mutombo?
He is
Like,
the
he's
savior
not.
for the bench.
He's just
We
not.
need the savior.
Now, honestly, he will definitely help. If
would
Mitch comes back,
I think the only
That'll be
thing,
huge
the
for
only
them.
thing he would do is, I guess, move Cat to the forward. But if he's got health problems, I don't know if Tibbs would necessarily start.
No,
him.
Mitch is going to the bench. He's
That's the
not
thing.
starting.
that's fine. If Mitch is on the bench,
Mitch
it's fine.
is going to the
that still means that Cat and Mitch do get minutes together.
correct.
Right.
Which is going to be huge for Cat.
Because my thing is with the Knicks is it's not really necessarily a team standpoint; it's an individual standpoint. The fact that I still agree with Becky Hammond that I still think Brunson is too small to be the number one option on a team.
Well, Cat is now.
Right. Well, do we know that for sure? Is Brunson
I
going
think
to be?
so.
Who's going to be taking who would you rather have taken the last shot
Cat.
in the playoffs?
No, Bronson.
No, Cat.
I would much rather have Cat do it. But at the end,
But Cat,
here's the problem.
I don't know.
Here's the problem. Cat is a playoff dropper. Cat
Yes.
is
No,
also
he's in New York.
okay. Keep
No
telling
more
yourself
dropping. No more dropping. Because he is a dropper. Continue.
He is a dropper. He's soft. He can't really deal with contact that
No,
much.
he is not soft anymore.
No, I still don't
not.
believe it.
I don't think
I
he's
need
soft
I need to
anymore.
see it in the playoffs to believe it. I still don't believe
Fair
it.
enough. That's fair.
So there's that. You obviously have the health concerns regarding OG Anunoby. He has not looked. He's
Yeah.
looked. He's had very on and off periods surrounding this season.
Yeah.
Mikal Bridges is Mikal Bridges. No matter what he does, it's still not going to be worth what you traded for
Okay,
him.
well, let's just kind of try to block that out of our minds because every single time we think about that trade, it makes us feel like
But we're
Mikal
thinking
Bridges
about
is
all-
the worst player in the NBA. But he's not. He's playing decently.
but he's definitely
Let's
the
talk about him as he fits with this New York team.
I mean, I could objectively say he's the worst player in that starting five.
Ooh, on a given night, it could rotate to
Yeah.
different players.
Right, but I would say on average, he's probably the weakest link out of the five.
tell me the starting five. Brunson.
It's Brunson, Hart, McHale, OG,
OG, Cat.
Cat.
Hart has his off
I will
nights.
put Hart.
Hart, honestly,
No.
Hart's been honest.
Hart
in
is
genuine
the heart of
honesty,
that team,
Hart's
though.
been the most consistent player on the Knicks.
Yeah.
On both ends, we're looking at.
Mikhail could easily be the one that drops the most.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
So let me go
Good
look.
starting five, though.
It is.
Let me go look.
They got to
right
be
now.
all together.
Let me go look at the team stats for.
Yeah, please. I want to see their defensive rating.
I think it's pretty bad. Pretty bad.
It could be. You never
I
know.
think,
They
it's,
don't
mid.
play-
I
they
think it's
don't-
middle of the pack.
They don't play defense.
It's not that they don't play defense; is that they don't really have defensive-minded players anymore outside of OG Anunoby. So if we're looking at offensive rating, the Knicks are currently second in offensive
Yeah,
rating.
that's
There's no that's the thing. Their offense can carry them really far. If we're looking on the defensive end, the Knicks are
They're right there, 18th.
18th.
It's not bad.
You typically need a top 10 defense to win a championship,
That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
right? But it's just not good enough.
I mean, they're worse than Charlotte, for God's sakes. Charlotte doesn't have a center right now. Okay,
Yeah.
Mark Williams is at home,
Well, he was
not
playing
reporting.
his All-Star break, bro.
Right. But that's kind of the
Yeah.
gripe with it. Like Cleveland's top 10 defense, they're 8th.
Okay.
So-
Where's
OKC is
where's Denver?
first.
Where's Denver?
Denver is probably they're low right now. They're not actually no. They are. They're pretty high actually. Where are they?
Denver is right there, 16. Go down.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm blind.
See?
16.
There goes Denver, bottom right there with the
But
Knicks.
I don't think Denver's the
the
championship
Lakers are right
favorite.
there.
Lakers are right there
17.
too.
Yeah, but
Who
like I
else
said,
over there?
it,
Okay.
it is what it is surrounding that, and I think there's question marks. I think, in all honesty, for every Eastern Conference team, I do think a Western team will win the NBA Finals this year. But like I said, there's flaws on every other team, right?
Yeah.
Like, can SGA get over his playoff lows when he doesn't show up? Does he need free throws to succeed?
Yes.
Can Jamal Murray show up in the playoffs? Like, we don't know if he can. Like, if he can again, right?
Well, he's known to be a riser.
He's known to statistically, he's I think the biggest playoff riser in NBA history. But if he plays like he did at the start of the season, then
Yikes.
Denver's not winning shit.
No.
Right? Is Boston going to have a hangover? Is Cleveland going to fall off? Is Houston and Memphis going to fall off? Is a surprise team like Detroit going to make the conference final?
No
Like,
way.
We don't know.
That would be amazing, though.
be
Wouldn't it
great,
be?
yeah.
Really good. Well, listen, playoff basketball is a whole different mentality.
It really
That's
is,
the
though.
thing. So anybody could win in any given night. We've seen it last year. We've seen it this season as well. But right now, it's just a ride to who gets the seeding. That's all we really know right now.
Right. And I'm just going based off the sample size of what I've seen from the Knicks over the past few playoffs. I just don't trust them.
Okay.
I just can't. And I do think the team got worse because
There's
they
a
have no depth.
little Nets bias going on over there.
Like I said, I tried to be objective as possible with
Okay.
my list.
Fair enough.
Because if you're looking at like the past few times the Knicks were in the playoffs, 2021 was the first time you made it, right? When you played Atlanta, we saw Julius Randle shoot them out of the series. Then they missed the playoffs.
He's not there no more.
Then in 2023, it was a Cavs team that kind of just was getting themselves settled. So it was kind of a walk in the park. And then you lose to an 8-seed Miami Heat with the Jimmy Butler on one leg.
It's Jimmy Butler, though.
Still, though, he wasn't particularly good in that series.
It's Jimmy B. Bro.
Jimmy B. And then you look at last year, where you go through a very hampered Sixers team that, if they were healthy, would have beaten them. And then an Indiana team, like I said, we can debate on that series all we want. At the end of the day,
We
I
won.
don't think they were the better team in that series.
We won
So-
the series.
So that's kind of is what it is.
I think the Knicks were the better team in the Pacers series, too.
I do not. So they needed blown calls to win game 1. And
That was just the game one. That was it.
but like I said, if the Pacers win game 6 and they win the series,
Pacers got some calls, too.
did they?
Yeah.
I don't know.
In the other games. I forget which game it was, but they got some calls.
The Knicks also got calls in the Sixers series, like when Maxey got assaulted and they didn't call a foul.
Yeah.
So that easily could have gone to a game
It
7.
happens.
Like I
It
said, it
happens.
happens.
Yeah.
So you just got to keep the same energy with each series.
Fair.
So it is what it is.
Okay.
So I don't think they
I'm
would have.
excited, man.
I don't think they would have beaten Boston anyways, but yeah, because they wouldn't have had Brunson.
But look, all this playoff talk, I was already excited for the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's getting a little bit more.
I'm
ready.
I am seated.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for this. And I can't wait to do our playoff bracket predictions
Yeah.
once again when the season kind of kicks off and everything kind of gets underway. So yeah, that's essentially our ratings, our power rankings. So do we have any sort of final questions,
Yes.
comments, concerns? What's up?
Question: when are we going to bring up our what's it called? What we did in the preseason, where we did the rankings of like playoff teams and who's not playoffs. Like when are we going to bring that back?
When the regular season is over.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember
Actually,
I'm looking
when-
forward to that.
When do we want to do that? Because they don't announce the awards until like the playoffs are underway. Like they do the MVP in the second round.
Right.
Do you want us to do it when the season ends, or do you want to wait till after the finals?
wait.
Because we have playoff predictions roped into that. So you want to do it after the finals?
Like,
there's a
long time.
like what we predicted for our all NBA teams and everything?
No.
Yeah.
Well,
So I say,
What are
well,
you talking about?
So do you want to do?
talking about even our seedings,
So
like
we'll-
our placements, everything.
Let's do the season standings after the regular season.
Yes.
And let's
Yes.
do everything else after the playoffs.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
fair. We'll do our little
Oh, yeah.
competition
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
We'll gather up the ratings and everything like that. So it
I
should be
think
a lot
Tyler
of fun.
definitely cooked us, bro.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
I don't know.
We have to see.
I
It's
intentionally
too
have
early.
not been looking because I don't want to spoil it.
I put the Sixers in like the number 2 seed.
I had the Sixers in third, so it really doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I had the
Yeah.
Bucks in like
I wasn't high on Philly, so I'm good.
yeah, you're chilling.
Really?
there.
I had him like 5th or 6th.
wow.
Yeah, I'm chilling.
He-
I saw it.
He had the Cavs in the play.
The Cavs are still in the plane.
So did I though.
No, you did. I'm saying he had the
Oh,
Cavs in like sixth.
The Cavs are still in the plane. Confirmed.
So yeah, it is what it is. We all have the Pistons in like
If you
14th.
if
Yeah,
you,
we did.
if you flop the standings, the Cavs are in last place. I digress.
Anyways,
That is some interesting logic.
If you flip the East standings, the Cavs are in last place.
All right, you keep telling
And the
yourself
Knicks
that.
are in third. Lottery.
So do we have any sort of final thoughts regarding our rankings?
nah.
No.
All right, and with that, that brings us to the end of episode number 45 of the Floor Spacer podcast. Guys, how we feeling?
I'm feeling good, excited.
I'm believing in the Knicks.
Okay, yeah.
okay.
I will
that's
always
nice.
believe.
I love how Gio will tell me that he writes off the Knicks, and then all of a sudden he believes in them again.
I will always believe.
Look.
Cat saved my believing.
I'm very up and down.
You know what
with
the funniest thing is? Cat actually changed a lot of people's beliefs, like the opposite, because a lot of Knicks fans are not Cat believers.
Now
Really?
we are.
Well, you don't know that because it's not the playoffs.
No, we're still Cat believers.
I think Cat is going to change a lot of people's minds
Yes.
about him.
I don't know because a lot of the Knicks fans I know, as soon as Cat got traded, they were like, "We're screwed."
Well, yeah, because we were expecting
didn't-
him to not be an offensive tank.
Yeah.
Now
No,
he's an offensive
I,
tank.
He is.
I expected him to be an offensive tank. What I expected from Cat
Did
was
you expect this though? Cat
All-star
he's dropping
starter.
31 a game.
There's the lack of big men star power in the East is quite low, so I did expect an All-Star appearance for him.
Yeah.
What I did expect was him to be a cone defensively, and what I do expect in the playoffs is for him to get in foul trouble almost instantly.
Oh,
Well, he's got to work on that.
that will be scary. Tips.
He's been in the league for over a decade now. If he can't fix it then, he's certainly not fixing it now.
Oof.
If he can't fix that, the Knicks might be an early exit.
Exactly.
I don't know. We'll have to see.
That's why I do not believe. So
But if he does fix it, he might be a finals run. Who knows? We'll have to see.
we'll have
Yeah.
to see.
We'll have to
But
see.
Gio, we've reached that point in the video. What are the people still with the flow? Comment at home.
What do we comment?
Knicks.
No, don't do that.
Comment rings, okay?
Rings.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Rings. I don't know if you can see this.
That-
The
but-
ones the Niners didn't get last year, right?
Oh, okay.
And they're not going to get anytime soon.
Apparently,
The one Russ is gonna get this year.
yes.
Yes. We'll
Yes.
see.
And also the Niners too,
Okay.
this coming year.
Hope-
Because apparently Debo, we just traded Debo for Michael Parsons. So we have another D end and
If-
got rid of Debo. Thank
If
God.
that trade happens, Nico Harrison and Jerry Jones can shake hands.
Yeah.
In the same
Yeah.
state.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
that'd be
in the same
wild.
state, yeah.
In the same state.
In the same city.
Same
In the
city.
same
Yeah.
city.
So yeah, obviously, not sure yet if we're going to do an episode on the buyout market or not because there's really not that many players out
We
there.
have no idea.
So we'll kind of just gauge on what's going on in the NBA over the next month or so.
Mm-hmm.
We're about to record our 50th week of shorts tomorrow, which will be insane. And then our 50th episode's coming up soon. Playoffs
5
are
weeks.
on the way. So just be on the lookout. So if you did enjoy today's video, be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, get us to 5,000 subs. Thank you also, by the way, we crossed 4 million views on our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Insane.
Big, four big ones.
Our numbers are in sync. We're at 4,000 subs, almost 5,000, and we just hit 4 million. It's in
So-
sync.
Can't thank y'all enough for that. Y'all are the reason why we're in this position. Be on the lookout for other new content as well. If you're on Spotify audio platforms, give us 5 stars, leave a review, answer the polls. Follow us on our socials at Floor Spacer Pod on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Follow our personal ones down on the screen, which you can see below. Get Gio to 1 million Instagram followers. And guys, any final thoughts? Anything you want to say to the viewers before we head on out for the week?
His account that he can't look at.
Yeah.
Yeah, I deleted Instagram, but still get me to 1 million.
He'll be
Yeah,
back in
so
a month.
when he gets back, his phone's gonna explode. Literally, flames will come out of it because the notifications are going off as too fast.
Yeah, I'm just so cool. So
You are too cool for school.
yeah.
So
No, let's roll. We're back.
all right. Well, we hope you all enjoyed. Thank you all for watching. We love you all endlessly, and we'll see you all next week in episode 46. Peace